Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we're live. It's Saturday night. Pretty good, 9:05 p.m. We're doing pretty good. This is like the TBS, the TBS start time.
Fucking Wolf's like, start the dang show, jack-offs.
Yeah, that's why I was like, yeah, we got our first comment. Let's go ahead and hit that.
We better get in there. Somebody's just burning the fucking place down. God damn.
So how you two been this week? What's up, guys?
Oh man,
fucking great, man.
Been busy.
Yeah, it's been a little nuts.
That's every week for me. I got spring break coming up in like 2 weeks or so that'll be nice, man. Much needed.
Yeah, Cal's was just this past week.
Yeah, most of the people I like used to work with my old job, they're doing it this week. We do ours pretty late, so I think we still have 2 weeks until it is. But then it's like you hit spring break, and then it's basically like just May, and then you gotta get through May, and then I'm free for a couple months, man. Can't complain.
True. So you got that last little push. Just school year out, and you're like, all right.
Yeah,
I've been sick all week, so I didn't start really feeling better until yesterday. I started kind of coming around, and today I'm doing better too. It's just kind of got a slow progression, getting better. And
last week, like I was on the couch for like 4 days.
Man, I remember that.
It's rough, dude.
You're like puking and shit. Like, what was it?
No, just fucking totally exhausted and just like falling asleep like into
dude. So I'll get
really shitty, sweaty sleep.
Yeah, dude. Well, I'll get that. And
what's up, Tim?
I'll like hit up Jackie because like she like works with all these people that can like call us in prescriptions. So I'll be like, I need an antibiotic. I know like that first day, like my throat will start to hurt. Like I need an antibiotic. I get this shit like once a year.
Goddamn Z-Pack, baby.
Yeah, and then it's like I do that, and then I'm good to go after 3 or 4 days or so. But I hate that shit, man. It's the worst.
I took Wednesday off, and then I just tried to rest up, and get some. I was kind of the same way you were, Nick. I was running like a little bit of a temperature, not super high or nothing like that. And I was exhausted. I feel like just like no energy.
Russ, you had the Brammer variant. You got it through the computer from Nick, dude. Okay, computers get viruses all the time, dude. Come on now.
It's insane, dude. Fucking
I'm transmitted through the internet, fool.
Why?
Do you have antivirus software? What?
Well, I hit my doctor up, and she was like, I was describing everything to her, and she goes, I said, you don't think I have COVID, right? And she said, what's your fever? I said, it was like 100.9. I said, but I took some medicine and it came down. She goes, no, you don't have COVID. I said, well, how do I know? And she goes, if you had COVID, your fever wouldn't come down. She's right the fuck up there. So she thinks I just got like a bug. She just said, you probably just got a little virus or something. You're just gonna have to let it run its course.
Hey Russ, speaking of which, man, you posted something about those trucker protests or something. Was that something that you like encountered that or just like heard about it? Or?
No. It's just it was more of a gripe of all truck drivers. So while that shit was going on, I was expecting material.
The one in the U.S. or the one in Canada?
No, there's one in the U.S. There's one going on the Beltway.
Yeah,
and around D.C. Okay, so while that's going on, I'm expecting material, and come to find out, the driver shows up like a day late, right? And I'm expecting shit, and I'll find out. I said, "Where the fuck were you at? How'd you get here now?" He's like, "Oh, we're participating in those protests, around the belt." I said, "Man, I was gonna say, are you crazy?" I said, hold up. You tell me I'm getting my shit a day late because you was up riding around the fucking Beltway blocking traffic because you're protesting?
Dude, that's funny. That's a really bizarre thing to me because like the one in Canada, I think makes a little bit more sense because of when it happened and then just how that's all structured in Canada. Most of the mandates and things there come from the federal level, right?
Right.
To where and it's like I can even sympathize with them in some ways. Like, yeah, maybe it doesn't make sense for a trucker who has minimal contact with people from like most people define as close contact. Like, it's less than 15 minutes. You can distance yourself. They're in a truck by themselves. Maybe they don't need to be. It's like the Canada one, even though like they did silly things and beclown themselves in certain ways, and some of them did. you know, it at least makes a little bit more sense. But like the one here, it's like, dude. First of all, at this point, like they're 2 months too late. What mandates what are you protesting, right?
There's no
Like
more
there's really nothing. Like, you know, I haven't worn a mask in 2.5 months, you know, and it's like nobody else is. It's just kind of bizarre. And then it's like, if you drive through towns, do you like protest in one town and then like cross a county line and not protest there because everything's completely different? I think people they saw that and then we're like, oh, we want to.
So
do
our
this
company,
too, but
our company still is making us not let people in the store. Okay, so we're still doing curbside service. Okay, well, people are freaking out about it, and I said, listen, my company is a national company. They've got stores all over the fucking country. They're not gonna change the policy until everything everywhere changes.
And that's what you get with big places like that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I'm trying to explain this to these fucking idiot necks in fucking Manassas, good old Manassas, Virginia. Like, you know, and I'm like, look, man, dude, just in there. I said, why do you need to come in here? I just want to look around. I'm like, what you want to look around for? You know what you need? Tell me, I'll get it for you. Look, you want to hang out and look at sandpaper? You want to stare at sandpaper? You fucking dumb. Oh man, it's a headache, dude. It's my boss. Is
Well, and it sucks too because like in your position, you're the face of that, right? So you got to interact with all of them.
So I have to be the one to tell. I have to be the one to tell them, no, go fucking hang out at your house.
Yeah, because it's like you posted something about
What's up, Ralphie?
What's up, Ralphie? Hey, he was over at what was that, ToyCon today?
Yeah.
That looked like
I hope everybody that went had fun, man.
Yeah, me too, dude. You know, I didn't even realize it was today. I didn't realize the ToyCon was going on. I'm like, oh wow, man. And it goes, too bad you didn't know. We could have drove up there. I'm like, don't tease me, Hannah.
It looks like they all had a good time, man.
That's awesome.
Share a meal together, dude.
That's cool. Shit, yeah, man. That's
it's like one of those times. Like, I just wish I was a little bit closer because, like, even if it was like a 6-hour drive or something, I would do that.
It's
just hang out for the day and come back. Like
it's about a 4-hour drive for me, I think, up there to Parsippany. But it's not bad. It's a pretty easy drive, and you know that's a nice little show. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah. It's Night of Ren was talking about doing something he was going to in Nashville that I might go to in a couple weeks here because that's like only like 4 or 5 hour drive for me. So.
Ooh.
I'm always looking for shit
meet
like
up
that.
With, gonna meet up with Ren.
Yeah, I never met him in person, man.
Neither I. At least if I did, I didn't know it.
He's selling all his hot toys. Some hot toys.
Ren's gonna be like, "You don't remember me?"
That dude, he cycles through shit quicker than me, man.
Oh, he like
buys and sells. Yeah, like he'll go all in on something.
He's like he's like Cleveland Brown, the Cleveland Browns with quarterback.
Yeah. That's nuts, man.
Oh my god! Have you heard the latest, craziest fucking rumor?
No, I haven't. Let me see. What are you talking about?
The 3-team trade.
No, I have not heard this. What is this now? What is this? Oh, God.
I have to remember correctly. Okay. But basically, it ends up Tom Brady to the Dolphins.
No way.
Okay. Oh my God, that's just not going to happen. Okay. But okay,
because they're saying that's why the Dolphins, fucking yeah. What is this?
That's why the Dolphins brought in
Tyreek Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's see.
So they're trying to escape from Tua.
Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised if Tom Brady goes to the Miami Dolphins this season.
That's insane.
Dale tells us he is hearing the parties are working on it. So, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm trying to find the part where it's like, so Brady goes to Miami.
Right.
Baker goes to Tampa.
Okay.
And I forget the other quarterback involved.
Tua Tagovailoa. That's Miami's quarterback now.
Yeah, Tua to somewhere, and they're gonna cut him. I think to Cleveland, and they cut him because
Probably
Cleveland,
because he would be cheap to cut because he's not on his 5th year yet. To pick up that 18, the big escalator at the end. Baker is on his $8 million or $18 million, I think, year. So that's why no team wants.
But if he goes to Tampa, look at how much cap room that would free up.
True. And Tampa could also extend them out so they could push some of that 18 million back if they wanted to.
Dude, Tampa, they must be just like working miracles with that cap room because they got a fucking squad, man. Like,
but trying to understand
with
this,
Tom Brady, like,
do you know how kind of a downgrade that is for Tampa? Right? I mean, so that's why it doesn't make sense to me. Is because
but I think there's draft compensation going to Tampa.
There'd have to be, but
there's got to be, and then I think he is. I mean, it's obviously that's a downgrade, but like the dude's still good, and they still have a good rest of their team. You know, like
you go from the GOAT to Baker Mayfield.
Some people named Nick Brammer.
The Baker hate has gotten out of fucking hand.
I'm just fucking around it, honestly. But, I think Baker is a serviceable quarterback. I don't.
No, for sure.
If I ain't gonna lie to you, I wouldn't mind it if Philly made a move for him. I wouldn't mind it because I'm not crazy about Jalen Hurts. I'm just not. I'm not a Jalen Hurts guy. I'm trying to be. I want to be. I want to be positive about it, but I don't see Jalen Hurts as like the guy for us in the future. I think we're going to draft another quarterback down the road.
I think I'm in the same fucking position that like I'm not sure how much I like my starting quarterback either.
Well, let me tell you, if he plays the way he did, they're getting a great QB.
They're getting an athlete that is
amazing,
out of this world.
Yes, and he's great. But the problem is the guy has missed almost a year. Well, it's been about a year and a half of football. He hasn't played football, and he's missed a whole season.
And not only
that,
that,
missed more games. So
he's got 22 civil suits to go through.
Which I heard that they were looking into him for another charge or something, and the grand jury said fuck that and dismissed that one too. Which is good news.
So criminally, he's done.
Yes, good, and because he should be.
Okay,
should be
cool.
Absolutely. Yeah,
there's still been suspensions from the NFL for players accused of similar things that have gone. I think Roethlisberger for 2 allegations got 6 games.
He did.
Deshaun Watson has 22 allegations.
Okay, but here's the thing about Roethlisberger's allegations. Yeah, because I've heard the same thing that you said, and I'm trying to tell people this. Roethlisberger's was different because the NFL did the investigation, and there were witnesses that saw him with this woman. So they actually had people who could say they saw him acting the fool. Yeah. Okay. With Deshaun Watson, it's all allegations. There's no witness. There's nothing. There's this bitch saying he made me touch his pecker. That's like, come on, dude.
Yeah, but I mean,
oh my God, it's driving
22 different ones over 4 different states or 5 different states, whatever it is.
Exactly, but keep this in mind. The 22,
it looks
though,
bad is all.
It
is
does,
what I'm saying,
but this 22 didn't start coming out until the lawyer started finding them. It's making me think this lawyer is got together a bunch of women just to make these accusations that have rubbed him down once or twice, and just make these allegations. We're going to sue for some money.
I hope.
Yeah.
I hope.
That's tough.
I hope that he proves himself an upstanding citizen because he's been found not to be enough evidence to be charged in a criminal court.
Right. Now I know, and I've heard people say, "Well, that doesn't mean he didn't do anything." Yes, but guess what? It also doesn't mean he did do something. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. And then I feel like in most like public figures, like it's like just the accusations enough to kind of ruin people. That doesn't apply to sports. So like I feel like it's different in sports.
Well,
because how many people?
Ray Lewis was accused of murder.
Yeah, I mean he did it. You know what I mean? Like look at him.
Well,
even
he didn't do it. He knew who did it, and he never.
Yeah, he knew who did it. It was the man in the mirror.
Right. So they made him what they did was they made him an accessory to it. And that's why they charged him.
But it's
they
like
trying to get him to snitch his
and
boy out.
And like Michael Vick and I mean it's like how many people it's like they don't necessarily get ruined like that in the NFL,
but Michael Vick also served prison time though. He served
he did the time.
So I feel like
that's what I'm saying is like Deshaun Watson in the eyes of the law
Is innocent.
is innocent.
That's right.
And he needs to be treated that way. And
He should be.
It's very
Should be.
hard. It's very hard to.
Well, it's hard to, because in our society now, we have this whole itch to jump and think that automatically someone's guilty when it's just an accusation.
Yeah, dude, and that's tough. Like, you see that with most things. It's like, it's kind of something comes up a story like that. There's the original narrative. People have a tough time moving on from that, because that's kind of what sticks in people's minds. They adjudicate it themselves, or kind of like with peer groups or whatever. And then by the time like more information comes out and things like that, people have kind of moved on to the next thing, So it's
they've already judged.
Yeah, they've already judged, and it's hard to change people's minds on stuff, especially like when people aren't as willing to say, "Hey, I was wrong about this thing," Even
it is very hard. Like, I intellectually know this.
Nobody remembers.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and most people just double down.
Yeah. I know, it kills me. We've had
so something like this, like, this is just real quick, and like they could even say, hey, all these things were false, these accusations. People say, well, he's still. Why are they even making these why are we even having to ask these questions about him? That's enough to think him suspect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's very hard. Like, I'm a fan of the Cleveland Browns, man. Like, I've gone through the Modell move,
I mean, you watched your team have ups, downs, and it's and here it is. This should be an incredible up for them, but it can't be, because
it's just so mired in bullshit.
I know. Well, I heard a lot
because
of
it's a double controversy, because it's the allegations against Deshaun Watson, which are very serious, but he has been found innocent.
Well,
then you have Baker
charged,
Mayfield.
Then you have Baker,
and Baker's like, hey, it seems like you're gonna go ahead and sign Deshaun Watson. I don't want to be here anymore. Cleveland's like, yo, simmer your ass down for a minute, because we got something big, and we're working on that before we get to you. And
True,
Baker,
but I will say this about Baker, and I hear what you're saying, but I'm getting angry at people who are pissed off at Baker for speaking up for himself. Here's the thing: this is professional football, and he believes he's a starting quarterback in the NFL. I believe he's a starting quarterback in the NFL as well. Therefore, if you're going to make that move to get Deshaun Watson, fuck him. You need to move me first. Get your guy. I want out of here. I don't even want to be here when he gets here. I want to be gone. And you know what? If you don't want to trade me, then cut me. Release me and let me go where I want to go. That's what the Browns should have done initially. They should have cut him.
But they should let him go. They couldn't. They can't.
Why not? They don't have
having that $18 million a dead cap.
Yeah.
Oh, when did they already pick up his 5th-year option? They did already. I guess they did, because it's the beginning of the new league year. I guess they had to. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
he's 18.5 on the Browns cap, no matter what.
That's true. You're right. Then they can't. Then I guess. But here's the thing.
Cut him.
I don't think anyone's going to trade for him. So I think they're going to have to take the cap hit.
Okay, so
if they wait post June, I think they might be able to distribute it out.
So there's that crazy ass Tampa 3-team rumor, right?
Right.
Then the other rumor is there is a team in the AFC North waiting for the Browns to cut Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, makes sense.
Dude, they need one.
Makes sense. They need.
Dude,
they've got fucking Trubisky.
Yeah.
Oh, God bless him.
And I'm not gonna hate on Trubisky. Trubisky played for the Bears, and the Bears are a terrible organization. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna judge him by that.
Nobody
from top to bottom.
Nobody in
leadership.
Nobody in the league had a better rookie season than Baker Mayfield until Deshaun Watson came along.
Baker Mayfield is a really. I think. Look, people. I keep hearing people saying all this about is he a starting quarterback? He obviously is, dude. He got his team to a playoff.
And I mean the Browns, like
what's up, skinny?
Their perception has changed And I think that Baker's a huge part of that. Like you don't see them as like the joke team anymore. You know what I mean?
Have
Like
you-
now it's like the Dolphins I feel like are viewed like that. And like
Yeah.
you can name a couple other teams. I'm too drunk, but like the Browns, like that's just not them anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and same thing with the Bengals. Like in 2008, what were people saying
Yeah,
about the
really.
Browns and the Bengals?
Hi,
I know it's a long
baby.
time back, but
Nick said, "Hi, baby."
Yeah. Mhm.
She said, "Good night, sugar." She's gone.
Good night, baby.
Look,
But yeah, like
she's.
you're
I love you too,
absolutely
baby.
right.
Oh, that was for Nick. I'm sorry.
oh god, you hate to
Share
hear
the
it.
love. But yeah, Baker Mayfield is definitely. I think the Browns have had 3 very important people come through their organization. The first is Joe Thomas.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm. That guy was badass, man.
arguably one of the best left tackles in the history of the NFL.
Completely agree with you. I think he was amazing.
At least top 5.
Didn't he? And now, didn't he play his whole career in Cleveland? Didn't he?
Yes,
Or did he go somewhere else? Yeah, I thought he played his whole career there.
I thought so. Yeah.
I thought so. So
The second is Baker Mayfield. Drafting him number 1
mhm.
overall made a statement that the
Yeah, like
Browns
it just
the
worked.
Browns said we made a decision. This is who our quarterback is, and then he went out and did what he did.
Mhm.
It was controversial as fuck.
Yeah,
Because remember that year, a lot of people did not consider him the number 1 quarterback.
and another rumor is Carolina is not supposedly interested in him because they have Sam Darnold.
Okay, but I would argue this: Sam Darnold is not as good as Baker Mayfield.
No.
and I don't want to hear anyone say, "Well, all this or that." He played with the Jets. He had last year with the Panthers, and he started out hot, and then it cooled off, and then he got hurt and all this stuff. And the part of being a professional football player is you got to stay healthy. If you can't stay healthy and you're not available, then
Yeah, dude, and that's tough because like even if you're out for a season, like that's like an eternity in people's minds.
Sure,
You know what I mean? It's
absolutely.
kind of like what have you done for me?
Yeah.
lately thing.
Baker Mayfield needed surgery.
Yeah, and that
you know,
Baker Mayfield was playing with a harness.
Mhm.
you know, Nick. What sucks is his tenacity to play through injury is probably what led the Browns to make this move. He's actually Baker's being punished for doing something that other quarterbacks
That's
have
doing
been
like
praised for.
like the
And
gutsy
he's
thing,
being,
you know.
yeah.
I forget
I mean-
which NFL insider guy said it,
Yeah.
but what was heard to be said in the Browns office was, "We want an adult at quarterback."
Right. Well, that now, I will say this. That okay, I think that's probably a foul ass thing to say. I think, and I don't think it's that far. Baker
Yeah.
does have a tendency to speak his mind, and
Mhm.
sometimes he comes across a little immature when he speaks. But I will say this: I still think he should have the right to speak his mind and say and defend.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times when he's
Yeah.
speaking his mind, it's because he's saying what no one else wants to say. You know what I mean? He's just
Mhm.
saying it, and people are going, "Oh, cringe, uncomfortable." You know? 'Cause
And
he
then,
comes out
like,
and says it.
look at the deal that Jameis Winston just got in New Orleans. Is Jameis Winston better than Baker Mayfield?
I don't know.
So
because
he's
here's the thing.
I think he's better than a lot of people think, but I think as far as perception goes, I would just say no, right? But I think that he's going to be good and do really well there.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Everyone wants to talk about his last year in Tampa Bay. He threw for 30 touchdowns. He also threw for like 30 interceptions.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, but if you take the interceptions away, yeah, but you can't.
You can't do, but you can.
You
But you
can't.
can't. You can't
Exactly.
do that. You can't
Right.
do that. You can't
You
just
can't do that. No,
remove
you
a
can't-
stat because it makes
Right.
him look bad. That's ridiculous.
Exactly. Let's just remove
then-
that stat because he looks bad for 30 touchdowns.
And another team not supposedly interested because is the Jets.
And by that, because they drafted
Zach
the other-
Lawrence.
yeah, that kid who I think is probably. I don't know. I don't want to judge him yet because
Yeah.
He's only had one
Right.
year, right? So I don't. But I that kid's got the Jets stink, dude. They're terrible. You notice
Like
that?
all
They
the
Yeah,
are
like
true
they're
force.
that joke team now.
They are. They're
You
terrible.
know,
Oh, God.
They
with the
have
they're
been.
with the Browns. Yeah,
But here's the thing, they had
them.
to. Oh,
They had, I feel like they had a couple
Dude,
decent
the
seasons.
only decent time they had was fucking Parcells.
Yep, that's true. Well, I don't know when Rex Ryan was coaching them.
Yeah, Rex.
They
Yeah,
were
he
at
had
least
a,
they
he had
were
a
they were at
couple
least
decent
fun.
seasons.
Well,
They were
yeah,
fun.
Yeah.
They
went
were
to
fun.
2 AFC title games. I mean,
Mhm.
True.
and they were fun because Rex Ryan likes to suck on toes and stuff. That's kind of funny.
Hey, good for him, man.
Hey, don't
He-
fucking
yeah,
kink
these
shame.
Hey,
These
I'm
coaches
not.
are
I
nuts,
think
man.
it's
I
cool,
love it.
dude.
I love
I think
it.
he's the coolest coach ever. He's got a foot fetish. That's awesome.
Dude, he's
Dude,
got some beautiful
That's
fucking
disgusting
hair
to me,
too.
man. Yeah, and some beautiful teeth too.
I
Some
mean,
beautiful fake teeth.
hey, well, as long as they look good.
Dude, hey,
But
I'm not saying anything bad about him. He's got beautiful
I
fake
think-
teeth.
Here's what I think is going to happen, though. I think Baker's going to end up having to go somewhere where he's going to have to be a backup for a minute. And when he does
I hate to
this,
see it.
and when he does
And
this,
then-
though, there's a chance though that he's going to be a backup, and eventually I think he's going to get a chance. He's going to get a chance to start somewhere. I'm telling you, he's going to get a crack. He will. We'll give him a shot.
But like, also the thing is, he made it public he wanted to go to Indianapolis.
He
And
did.
Indianapolis was like, "Hold on,
Yeah,
We're
You
gonna
might
go
want us,
talk
but
to
we don't
Matty
want
Ice."
you. Yeah,
Right. But okay, but you can't blame Indy for that, right? A chance to get a guy like Matt Ryan.
if you
That-
feel you're a quarterback away and
Yes.
you look around the league
Yes.
and who's available,
He's the way to
Matt
go.
Ryan's a safe bet.
Myself,
He's been to a Super Bowl.
yeah.
myself though, I don't think Indy is just a quarterback away. I think they are not. I don't think their receiving core is as good as people think. They can't stay healthy. They get hurt.
I don't think.
I don't, and I also think their O line not
That's
as
what
great
I
as
was saying,
because Carson Wentz, and I'm not trying to defend him, but I'm going to say this: he was running for his fucking life all season, dude. Last year, all
he
season.
should have been fucking used to it.
You know, right? That's true. That's true. In Philly, he ain't much of a line in front of him either.
That's the thing about the Cleveland Browns that I do love.
They've got a good O line. It might be
That
the best O line in the league.
fucking football team is built
Oh.
on the O line and the D
Great.
line.
Hmm?
Miles Garrett is the third Cleveland player I was going to talk about, and then OBJ. Jarvis
Wow.
Landry, very important signing also. Jarvis
Yeah.
Landry changed the locker room culture in
And now
Cleveland.
now is Jarvis Landry signed somewhere yet?
No, but he's fired his agent.
Oh shit. That's
And
interesting.
OBJ has made noise about maybe coming back to Cleveland.
Yeah, hey, good for him, man. He's got that ring now.
He's crazy.
Fuck
The
the
Rams
dude.
want to keep him.
Yo.
Yeah,
The
for
Rams
sure,
want to
dude.
keep him.
And like,
So
why wouldn't he want to stay there?
why wouldn't you stay with
Yeah.
the Rams? And here's why.
Fucking
He wants a big payday. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And the Rams aren't going to give him this big a payday. They can't give him this big a payday.
Mhm.
The dude's coming off of torn ACL, whatever. I mean,
Dude,
you're not
a
you're not
torn
going to get the
ACL.
payday.
And what did he did another knee injury in the fucking Super Bowl, right?
Right. That was the one. I thought he tore his ACL.
Oh,
in the
okay.
Super Bowl.
So yeah. And then people are acting like he was the number one receiver on the Rams. And that's just bullshit.
Dude, yeah, not even, man.
did we
not
forget
even.
about
Like, they're
somebody
stacked.
else? I mean,
Cooper Cup.
Yeah.
And what
Cooper
was the other
Kupp,
dude's name?
look, there are a few. Woods.
God. Yeah,
Robert Woods.
Robert Woods.
There are a few receivers in the league that you could say have an argument to say they're the number one receiver in the NFL. Okay, Cooper Kupp, I think, is the best receiver in the league. And I know people say, "Well, what about Devontae Adams?" Devontae Adams is amazing, but Cooper Kupp is the guy who can take a game over. Like literally,
Yeah.
that Super Bowl was won because of his clutch catches. Stafford going to him down the field. They couldn't cover his ass. He was unbelievable. I just Devontae Adams can't seem to do that because we've seen him not win. He can't do it. Plus, his quarterback is the guy who says, "Oh, I quit." And then you got Tyreek Hill. he's great, but he's a down the field speedster more than anything. I just think Cooper Kupp to me is the best receiver in the league. And I think that's why I think he's crazy to not want to go back to the Rams. You got a chance to play with the best, if not the best, maybe one of the best receivers in the league. That's good for you.
Yeah.
If OBJ, he's crazy. Odell Beckham should want to play with him. People are gonna the defense is gonna have to.
He wants to try to prove that he's still number one, and he's not.
But he's not. He's a great receiver. I'm not gonna say he's not. He's great, but I've always felt he was overrated, but that's just my opinion of him. I think he's a circus catch guy. That's great. Oh wow, but it doesn't win you games. He's just a guy who though. But when he was with the Rams, and even for a minute with the Cleveland Browns, sometimes that guy catches touchdown passes. He's amazing. That's what he does. If he doesn't,
and
go
they
with
were
the
getting.
Rams,
And the thing about Cleveland was like they were getting him involved in like reverses and shit.
Oh sure, there you can take advantage of that speed he has.
Yeah, it was fun to watch.
I think he's a really good player. If he could be a better player if he just stays in the right situation.
Yeah,
just use his brain. It's a matter of is money more important to you or is winning more important to you?
Yeah.
If money's more important to you, go play for the Jets.
Yeah.
They'll pay you a fortune.
Go back to New York. You think he's got the balls to do that?
No, I don't.
I
really don't.
I think New York would tear him apart as soon as he had a bad game.
I think he needs to go somewhere where he can kind of shrink if he needs to, because he does shrink sometimes.
How about Kansas City?
Well, they're looking for a replacement for a big dog receiver right now. And they need to pay somebody on the cheap too, because they don't. Here's the thing: Patrick Mahomes' contract, his big contract extension is coming up now. He's going to be making like $50 million a year. They can't pay like a guy like Tyreek Hill like the $25 million a year that he wants.
Mm-hmm.
How pissed are the Chiefs at the Browns?
Yeah. So, dude, I'll say like I live, I'm from St. Louis, so a lot of people there, like once the Rams left, became Chiefs fans, and they're not mad at Tyreek, man. Like they're like. Well, all the posts I see are like, thank you. Basically, thank you for your service. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So,
you gotta think he deserves to go out and get all the money he can. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's got his ring, and if he, he's playing for a team that people think are a quarterback away.
It's a lot of teams, Russ.
Yeah.
Miami is a quarterback away. They're.
Yeah,
Tua,
I don't see it. I don't see it, but whatever.
I don't know. I don't know that they are either. I don't see it either, Nick. I'm the same way. I kind of going. I don't think they're that good, but whatever.
I hadn't watched a Cincinnati game until the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And what I saw from Cincinnati really impressed me. And like I said, being a Browns fan, the O-line and D-line, Cincinnati's lines are nasty.
Well,
that left tackle has an attitude. I like him.
And that's great, but the problem is that line, I felt bad for him because they were doing a good job for a while. How do you block those guys when they start really pouring on the heat? What do you do? Von Miller is coming at you too. I mean, Jesus Christ, what do you do? I felt bad for them because I did think that they had a shot. They had a good shot in that game, and then the Rams defense just started putting the hook on them. And their defense for what they are, I felt like hung pretty good with the Rams offense for a while. And then once they figured out, once OBJ went out of the game, it was almost like they were like, okay, we know what we got to do. Just keep throwing to the Cooper Kupp. That was it.
So this week also, Triple H did an interview with Stephen A. Smith. Did you guys see this?
Yes, I did.
He's retiring from in-ring stuff, huh?
Yep.
Hey, that dude. I mean, that's a career. So is he still going to wear the suit and do the?
I think so. I don't know.
Cool.
A lot of people. There's been all kinds of speculation about that too. That him and Vince are having a power struggle, all that stuff. But it was pretty crazy listening to what happened to him, though.
Yeah,
that was insane, wasn't it?
Viral pneumonia.
Viral pneumonia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had viral pneumonia, and the way Kate explained it to me was that like the fluid in his lungs from the
Yes.
pneumonia pushed on his heart,
That's what
and,
that's
and he had
That's
a
scary shit, man.
he had like a genital blockage anyways,
yep.
and
Yep.
so like
Like in his genitals?
No, it's like a
No, I'm just talking
Kid-
shit.
Oh, I
dude.
thought you were straight up serious. No, it's funny, dude. Go ahead.
congenital.
Yeah, I did.
But yeah, so he had a congenital condition where he had a blockage in that artery anyways. So like
Oh,
what
no.
so like what was called his return value, which is how much blood his heart pumps out,
Mm-hmm.
was like at 12% by the time he got to the hospital. And it's
Oh,
like
my
in
God.
a,
Dude.
in a healthy
in-
dude, it's like 60.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in heart failure, man. He was in
Yeah.
bad shape.
Jeez.
Like,
man,
So
what shit
he's got
can't-
a
dude.
fucking defibrillator now.
Yeah, and he's old, and he's like, I mean, he still looks good and moves well and everything
Yeah.
for an old dude. How old is he now? He's got to be
He's in his 50s.
50s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul Levesque.
He's he started talking about his daughters, which really got me.
Dude, he's 52.
Yeah, it got me when he started talking about his
Which
talking about his
it's
girls.
like
because-
that's
Yeah.
old. I feel like that's old for a wrestler. You know what
well,
I mean? Like,
I mean, yeah,
especially one that's still doing it.
Ric Flair was still doing it in his 50s.
He's special, man. He's special.
Yeah,
Ric
right.
Flair's always been 50, though. To be
that's
fair,
true.
you know,
Feels
like,
that way, doesn't it?
He's always been
Feels
50.
that way.
Woo!
But when he started talking about his kids, man,
God.
I was
Take
it
Buster
started
Door
tugging
down.
on my heartstrings. I'm like, oh my fucking
Yeah.
god, dude, you know. And you know, I understand. I mean, come on, we all. If you're a father, you understand that shit totally.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Your thought is, oh my god, I'm gonna leave my kids without their
Dude,
father.
for
Here
real,
it
man.
is, you know. And it scared the hell out of him, obviously. And
Yeah, man.
you know, so he's ready to. You know, he might be one of the people that's the experience is made him appreciate life more. And yeah, let me tell you something about those guys. By the way,
what's up?
him and
It's like,
Stephanie.
that's like a good
Oh.
story in wrestling, though, man. Like I feel like it's like dominated by these sad stories, you know. But that's like it's
Yeah.
a good one, man.
Like, dude,
That-
for who he hung with, for him not to have a drug problem is amazing.
Yeah, really. That's a good point.
Kevin
Sean?
Nash,
Scott Hall.
X-Pac,
Yeah. Dude,
Scott
yeah,
Hall,
Yeah.
and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sean. Oh my god. Shawn
And
Michaels
then,
was
like,
really
the
bad back in the day.
adjunct guy was just incredible.
Yes. Oh god.
And yo, you want to talk about partying?
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy.
The Kevin Nash shoot videos that I like to watch are on YouTube now. The KC Vault or something like that it's called. They're releasing a lot of their old shit. So like they're not only doing like the you shoot stuff, they're also doing like the guest booker where like they have like guys that have booked territories come in and redo the story of like famous things like the WCW invasion is one of them.
Yeah. Wasn't one of them when was one of when they were talking? Didn't they do one? Oh no, that was what was that? A Dark Side of the Ring? Maybe they did where they talking about the plane ride from hell or whatever.
Yeah, that was Dark Side of the
That was
Ring.
Dark Side of the Ring,
Those shits are dope too, man.
Yeah, that was
That
crazy.
Jake the Snake Grizzly Smith one. Holy
That was
fuck.
insane, dude.
Dude, they
Crazy
do a
as shit,
good job
dude.
with those because I'm not like you guys know I'm not like super into wrestling, but like
Yeah.
I think I've watched every one, and I'll watch
Yeah.
ones of
Well-
people that like I've never even heard of these people.
Really, they're
just
good
do such a
stories,
good
aren't
job.
they?
Like they do a good job
Yeah.
in
like
like
the world class
30
ones
minutes,
they did.
just like
Yeah.
telling a really good story. Like
Yep.
good
yo,
on 'em.
like yo, I feel really bad every time I watch the Von Erich one.
That
That
family,
to me is the saddest story in wrestling.
their family.
Did
is
you watch
just-
that one, Sam?
It's crazy.
yeah, I mean, but it's like in the jumble of all the ones, but
That's the one about the
it's-
fucking brothers where only one of them is living, and he's
Yeah.
basically just a recluse in Hawaii.
oh my
smoking
god,
weed.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a mess, dude. Their family was just I mean, I don't like to be all supernatural, oh god, bullshit. Yeah, but I mean, their family seemed like it was literally
It was
cursed.
cursed.
It was
Cursed,
bad,
dude.
It was
Cursed.
bad.
Yeah, man.
It was really rough. So I don't know. I feel for them. It's tough. It's a sad story, but good lord.
Yeah,
Honest every night though. What are you gonna do?
I know.
What are you gonna do, man?
This motherfucker don't care about shit.
Yeah.
Look at him. Finally,
You can't stop the sun from coming up, What are you gonna
Oh man.
Fucking
Oh
funny, dude.
shit. So,
But-
go ahead, Russ.
No, I was gonna say, those are really good to watch, and the good thing though is that if he wants to retire and do nothing, him and Stephanie are worth about $150 million.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah,
They're
They're
set.
okay.
They're not. Yeah, they're not gonna be.
they're not
needing
hurting.
to, not to say that they won't do, but like they're not going to be at conventions signing autographs because they need.
But, like,
you know what I mean? Like they're
Not at
gonna be-
all.
There's also
Good on him.
there's also the rumor that supposedly the WWE isn't for sale,
That's what.
but the
allegedly.
WWE is for sale.
Everything that
Yeah,
he's
man,
done.
who would
what-
buy that?
Disney.
Everything. Well,
Oh, fuck.
there was rumors that the NBC, like one of the big networks,
Peacock
was-
or whatever.
Yeah,
Peacock, Peacock.
there's
Network,
that, and then there's Disney,
There's Disney. There's
and putting
How,
like
what? So what?
What about Fox?
What number do you put on that though?
No.
On WWE,
okay, easily 10 billion.
10 billion.
10 billion
Holy
easily.
Well, you got to understand right now because
How
of what
many
he's done,
hours of how many
Yeah.
hours of content do they have?
Yes, it's
and they're
insane.
getting more every single day.
It's insane.
How many different WWE products can you do if you're a $1 billion company like Disney? And the
my
rumor is that they want to do the big part of like the pitch is a physical Hall of Fame on Disney property.
Can you imagine that? We're putting a bust of all the
Wh-
wrestlers and stuff in there,
And
Like,
and with wrestler presence at certain days on the park.
I mean,
So
why not?
that'd be a good get, but I feel like
Yeah.
they would
And
have to.
They're already
Because
based in Tampa.
Isn't
Yeah.
their whole catalog available online? Like if you have
Well, it's
like
it's
everything.
I
that they
guess
put out.
I guess Peacock has the network,
Yeah.
but I don't know if everything.
I
is
feel
on
like
there.
that.
I
That's
don't
what
know.
to me. That's what to
Okay,
me
hold
would
on,
stop
hold
stop
on.
Disney from doing that.
Yeah.
So you think WWE was worth more than Lucasfilms? How many years ago was the Lucasfilms deal?
Right.
2015.
That was-
2015. So 7 years ago.
I think that's the price of inflation because what was it? $4 billion for Lucasfilms.
4 billion. Yeah,
I thought it was
double
5.
plus
I
2.
might be
You
wrong.
know,
I-
I thought it was
Dude.
5, but I may be wrong.
Yeah.
Just give or take $1 billion.
How do you
Whatever.
have a Hall of Fame for a fake sport? Because, dude, how do you have a Hall of Fame for anything? It's
mean,
just a popular vote of who's the best in
You-
that
most
field.
impactful.
Completely understand that. Listen, I'm not gonna. Here's the E, and I know, and I've had this debate with other people. Is it scripted? Yes, it is.
It's almost
But
not even
never
worth getting
deny
into.
never deny the athletic ability of these guys that do
Yeah.
this. These women
Oh,
and men that do
yeah,
this.
they
Never
put
the-
their bodies through hell, man.
Dude.
For sure.
They have to learn how to fall properly. They have to learn how to,
Mhm.
and then some of them they have such athleticism that they do shit in a ring that's incredible.
Yeah.
Just never doubt their athleticism, and
And like the
most
amount
of
of time that they travel, don't get to recover properly, and things
Look
like
at
that.
look at
Yeah.
the athletes there right now.
Mhm.
Brock motherfucking Lesnar.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you want to say he's a fake athlete? Go check out him in UFC back in the day. Yeah, not such. Not so
Okay.
fake.
That is a very good question, but how do you decide who is really the best when the outcome is predetermined is my question.
More okay.
Who-
Now what it is
Who
it's
has an impact with the fans?
who's more entertaining? Who was more
Or
entertaining?
who was more entertaining, or who
Yeah,
had,
I think like
who
that
had
kind of what he said works in reverse. So like the
who
predetermined
had the most
outcome
impact.
comes from the result of what EE said, right?
Right.
It's like has the most impact, they get that predetermined result. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they get those wins, you know, because they're better, they're more
Because
entertaining. They
if
they
you
get
have
people,
the
they get the
belt,
eyeballs and they get the butts in the seats. So
Mhm.
if you have the belt, the company says you are the person that
it's
is
employee
going
of the
to
month award.
drive us.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, that's what
What's
he's
up?
right. What's up, Jason? The
If
company
other
that
performance athletics entertainment platforms have a Hall of Fame, why not wrestling? Yeah,
Yeah.
sure,
like there's an acting Hall of Fame and all
there's
that
an
shit
acting
too.
right, exactly. And there's in pro wrestling, it's if they put the championship on you, that's them saying you're the man right now,
Yeah,
or you're the woman.
you're the
whichever,
one
you know?
drive. You're the one
Right.
driving the company.
Right. You're and yeah. I mean, yeah. Does the belt change hands? Well, actually, the belt hasn't changed. Well, Roman Reigns has had the belt for a while now,
Yeah.
and I guess and so is
Right.
Becky Lynch. Come to think of it, and Charlotte. God damn.
Being more entertaining doesn't mean you're the best, right? But you can
And
also
that-
tell.
Go ahead.
You can
Sorry.
also tell by athleticism. I mean, you're looking at the whole package of wrestling.
Yeah, and I would argue too, though, in pro wrestling, in pro wrestling, you can be a person that's not super athletic, but if you're entertaining, you get over with the fans.
Yeah,
You're good, and you're gonna
Paul Heyman.
God, good.
Right.
What a fucking
dude.
donut.
Yeah.
Donut hole. God.
He was all of us, man. What do you?
Yeah. Right. But
My client.
Yeah. I mean, he's smart. He knew the business. I understand what I mean. I get what you're saying, E, and you're probably you're right as far as like it's not, but it's just that trying to imagine pro wrestling is like it'd be like in football.
Ralphie's
What makes a
using all
football
these
player
big words.
good?
I'm too fucking high
Yeah.
for it. You're not rewarding the best winners. You're
I need my
rewarding the
glasses.
best performer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Should they
Good
not
point.
have an immortal remembrance? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
wrestling
for
is
sure.
an
And then
art form.
And it's like some of
is.
them do like there is an impact that people have. Like it's like we all watch these dudes as kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
so like that. I feel like it's like
I always like the
A more
genre is
athletic
like
athlete doesn't necessarily mean you're more entertaining and vice versa. That's why I can't get
100%
behind it
true.
at all. You
Yeah.
really can't decide who's the better wrestler. Yeah, but you can't decide who's the best baseball player of all time or in any other sport either.
yeah, that dude. So that's tough too because you could say
It's
I'll-
not
I'll-
it's
like,
not a sport. It's
yeah,
not a
but
sport.
and you can't do that with any sport though, Nick. What sport can you say this is the best player of all time? It's tough because I'll say it
Everybody
I'll
has
say
their
it-
opinion.
Yeah, but then like
Sure.
I'll use amateur wrestling as an example. Like you could take like a guy like Cale Sanderson, never lost in college, but then
Right.
put him up against a guy who he coaches, Aaron Brooks, right now, and it's like he might beat him because the level of technique has evolved in that 20-year span. Like
Conditioning.
the conditioning's improved, the amount of money that's gone into
Medicine.
sports improved. So like it becomes like a really tough conversation. It's
That's a
almost
good point.
and I'm not saying it's not worth having because I think
Right.
they are worth having because they're always good discussions. But like
Well, it's
when you take people from different eras, how do you
Yeah.
how do you compare?
Michael Jordan versus LeBron.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone wants to constantly say LeBron's better than Jordan, and I say, well, we'll
I'm
never
starting to
find
get
out.
pissed off about that argument, so I've changed my mind.
Well-
My goat is now Bill Russell. Fight me.
Yeah.
Bill Russell was a hell of a ball player. But what I'm saying is, I'm just using it as an example.
I know.
You're
just fucking
taking
around.
two players from different eras, and I see what you're saying. Football's the same way. Like
Yeah,
Jerry Rice,
definitely.
statistically, he's
Yeah.
probably going to be the best receiver ever. But I would argue that Randy Moss,
But at least you have actual non-fabricated fixed facts to support a Hall of Fame inductee in baseball. Yeah, but like we said earlier, it's sports entertainment. So
Right.
you're looking at the entertainment halls of fame.
Yeah.
So how do you find the best actor?
right?
How do you find the best actress, whoever,
Yeah, how do
the
you-
best,
yeah.
the best singer, the best, the Rock
What's
and
the-
Roll Hall of Fame.
It's
What's-
all subjective. It's
Yeah.
gonna be subjective for
Yeah,
sure.
like the Oscar awards are tomorrow night, right?
Yeah.
How do you decide who's the best actor? Who's gonna win best actor?
Yeah,
right?
there's no metric to do it. It's
Right.
a judgment.
It's a judgment thing.
You
and
got to compare it to that. So I think I get what he's saying. I think he's competing.
Yeah,
he might be
he's
doing
saying
this,
as
like,
long as people never use the term sport, you're fine. Yeah, And,
Agreed.
Like, yeah, but
Mhm.
like
That-
the era of the dumb mark is over.
yeah, everyone's too
Unless
everyone's too
some kid
knowledgeable now.
unless some kid is 5, they've been smartened up.
Yeah,
I mean,
everyone
let's be
knows
honest.
too much about the
yeah,
business.
yeah.
Everyone
I feel
knows.
like
And like to me, that's why pro wrestling isn't as fun anymore. If you ask me, though, is because people know too much about it now. We know.
I completely
I don't
disagree.
know, dude.
I
I do
don't
too.
know.
Just because growing up, I never for one point thought that shit was real. But I
No, I
loved.
didn't either. That's not what I mean.
You know
though.
what I mean? Like,
I don't like. I knew. Well, I mean, when I was a little kid, I thought
Yeah.
it was real one time. But once I learned. But what I'm saying is, it's what I meant by that, Nick, is that I don't like that I know too much about the inside of pro wrestling now. So
See,
that
I like
see,
that.
and that's cool, and I get it. But for me, it's less fun because I find myself not enjoying the storyline as much as I'm saying, oh, look at this non-selling motherfucker. Look at this bitch. She's got DDT and she gets right back up. You know what I
Now,
And I-
see,
yeah.
no, see, I want to address this too. It's not even sports entertainment; it's just entertainment. I would pose to you that there are sports in the Olympics that
Curling.
are less physically taxing than wrestling.
Oh, God, yeah.
for sure. man.
God, yeah.
There's curling. There's skeet shooting.
Oh, God.
You know, these things take skill just like wrestling does.
Dude.
Drafting's a sport in the Olympics.
Hold
Yeah.
up, man.
You just ride a
Don't they
bike
have-
behind someone
I
else.
thought they had long distance walking as an Olympic sport.
They
too.
do.
Yeah,
It's
power
just
walking or
marathon
some
walking.
shit.
Power walking, yeah.
Dude, they're about to cut wrestling from the Olympics a few years ago, man.
Yeah.
And add
okay,
power
hold
walking
on.
and shit like
That
that. Like,
wrestling, but that wrestling is legit.
yeah,
Right?
I'm not comparing the two.
Yeah,
but
but I mean,
how many athletes come from that amateur wrestling to the WWE? You know, you got
Absolutely. That's what I was just about to say.
Man, Bobby
you beat-
Lashley.
Like
You beat me to it.
gymnastics is an Olympic sport.
Yeah.
That's just hard as fuck, though.
It is hard as fuck.
It is
No,
hard
like-
as fuck, but
Like-
so is wrestling.
Right. What they do
Yeah.
in the ring
And
is very
It's
physically
physically,
taxing.
yeah, it's physically taxing. Yeah,
so
that's what
I
I was just
mean,
about to
so
say,
I
yeah.
mean, saying it's fake. Okay, it's predetermined.
It's a semantic. It's a semantic argument.
Yeah, it's
right?
just it's like, yeah, it's not a sport because it's predetermined. But
Yeah, no, I agree. I wouldn't
Yeah,
call it a
but like
sport. I mean,
but like it could be. You could very easily turn pro wrestling into gymnastics.
well, there's a
very
lot of guys
easily.
who have gymnastics backgrounds in pro wrestling.
You have
So-
you have a panel of judges
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
fucking judging each move.
Mhm.
yeah. Or like
Yeah.
judging how you trash talk, you know?
Sure
what I
you
mean?
could.
Like every
Yeah.
time, every time
And you
make
have
a
Yeah.
comment.
you have an announcer talking about what they're doing and
And that would be
as
awful
they're
to
doing
watch.
it, just like they do in the gymnastics. You know?
Because your
mean-
gymnastic routines are predetermined. You've worked them out in the beginning.
True. There's no surprise.
Yeah.
You practice this routine. You know what you're doing.
So I mean,
It's
like
about
the-
how you do it.
the argument that it's not sport. Okay, yes, technically it's not a sport, but very easily could it be? Yes.
You could have somebody saying, "Yep, let's watch this match. Let's watch this guy's moves and how crisp he does them, or let's watch this guy. Does he sell well? if he takes his head dropped on the mat, does he actually lay down for a few minutes, or does he get right back up?"
Yeah, we're
Well, yeah.
defending something that we like.
I am a fanboy. You're right. I am a fanboy. I'm sorry, E. I am. I
The
will say
winner
that
is
I'm
WWE
not even-
predetermined
I'm not
in
even-
gymnastics, but you're not listening to what I just
Well,
said. It
No, I
very
can,
well
I can
could
see
be.
that. I could see that point
Hold
too,
up.
though, because like what he's saying is like the competition aspect in gymnastics isn't
True.
predetermined. The routine is
True.
predetermined, but the
Right.
competition
True,
aspect.
but what Nick
so
is
when
saying,
you have a gymnastics team, you don't know who's going
Right.
to win before.
but
they
what
even
Nick is
hit
saying
the
is
floor, is what
pro
he's saying.
wrestling could easily be turned into a real competition of some kind. You could easily you could judge pro wrestling on the same merits as you do gymnastics as to how moves are done correctly, the technicality of it, how everything is
Yeah.
crisp. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and you could easily do that and then have a competition. Did this wrestler perform better
Dude,
than this
they
guy?
have-
You know?
So basically, yeah. So
They
Nick,
have
so
pair-
what you're saying,
they
is you
have
could take it and
pairs-
just add a metric to it.
Yes,
could.
they have pairs figure skating.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
We have tag team wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could easily judge it by that standard. I agree with
Yeah.
you. You could.
You
I would
could.
hate it, but I'm glad
At this time, do they? No. So is it a sport? No.
No,
But
it's not.
entertainment has different entertainment has different Hall of Fames.
Agreed.
Rock and
agreed.
Roll
It's
Hall of Fame, Acting Hall of Fame, blah blah blah, blah blah blah.
you can have Hall of Fames for things other than just sports. We
Yeah.
have them. We have them all for everything. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right? I mean, come on.
Mhm.
There's nothing athletic
Where is
about
that in
rock-
Cleveland?
Well, I don't know. Some people would.
Fuck you.
He's just trying to provoke.
He's talking
motherfuckers
shit,
now.
man.
You fucking Giants.
He's trying to
fan.
turn
You're
a
such-
15-minute segment into a
God.
45-minute segment.
He's just being a Giants fan.
Yeah, it's about 10 o'clock. So why don't we start talking
God bless him.
Let's do it.
fucking Toddy
Yeah,
Mac?
man. So Nick, you had a good premise to kind of explain all this, and I made you stop because I said save it for the show. What happened? Dude?
Well, I had asked Nick because I watched this interview with Shardamus douchebag.
And again,
and,
I couldn't get through all of it because of
and I-
Shardamus Prime, you know?
Yeah, I had a hard time with the interview myself, but he got to a part where he was talking about female figures, and I kind of wasn't. Maybe I just didn't get. I couldn't understand what he was saying. I didn't get what he meant. And Nick was going to explain it to me, and I wanted Nick to. And Sam
Okay.
said, "No, wait for the show."
All right. So the way I understand it, and please correct me if you feel I'm wrong. He first started talking with Shidamus about
Shit, that's good.
he can't do a full this is what I'm talking about. It goes like in stages of like
Absurdity.
cringe
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
fucking
It's tied.
like horrible like Neanderthal thinking.
Mhm.
So he's like, okay, I can't sell a whole wave of female figures, guys.
a whole wave of female figures.
Yeah, I can't sell a whole wave of female figures, guys. You know, and fucking okay, to me that makes business sense. A
Okay.
full wave of all female figures, I think you would definitely have some because they would be pulling from like probably Z-list characters,
Most likely.
unless it's a superstar wave.
Like, yeah.
And but then that
Yeah.
goes
But then,
into
like-
and
but then
that
even-
goes into
even-
the other complaint that he's
Yeah.
not doing enough
Yeah.
variety of
Yeah,
female
so
characters.
that's like a dual
Right.
thing because you could say,
Mhm.
so you might have to pull from let's say even D-list.
Yeah.
Legends does that in almost every wave, you know. So I figure that's the comparison people make, and that's the argument against that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So was he
So
basically
then-
arguing that that's
Well-
why he doesn't do a lot of female figures?
No,
No.
it keeps going
Okay.
less.
Let me, okay. let
It
me
gets
hear-
worse,
let me hear more.
actually.
Okay.
It
All
gets
right.
worse.
So then he's like, yeah, female figures don't sell in the boys' toy aisle.
That's bullshit.
yeah,
That's
Right.
bullshit.
That's where it starts to turn, and you start
Mhm.
thinking, "Yeah."
and then he gives this really weird scenario about like a kid like getting good grades on their report card, and like
Yeah,
their
okay.
parent
I
their
heard that. I
parent
heard
buys
that.
them like a and it's like
Yes.
that's an example, like that scenario he said, like it's like he doesn't live in the real world. Like
No.
he watches shows like Full House and Leave It to Beaver, and then like makes his formation of the real world based on these shows.
This man
Like,
spent millions of dollars on baseballs.
yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
he's a clown.
Yeah.
Um,
and I
Okay,
think and I
so-
think what were you
Like
gonna say, Nick?
what he said about that you're missing though is he said that if a parent brought home a female figure to a kid as a present for like getting a good grade or something,
Mhm.
which is like how many parents give their kids presents for good grades?
I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. That like that.
Yeah.
That's what
I
I'm
don't
talking
know.
about. Like what?
Yeah,
what-
that's
what do you-
like he's anachronistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's kind of an
But-
outdated way of things, but okay.
And then he's like, and then he makes the worst joke in a while. He says, "That's how you get serial killers."
Yeah. Yeah. What are you talking about, dude? Todd, stop, man. And it's oh my man.
What a reach.
I don't. Yeah, because he was.
Wow.
He's like I've said this for years. He's a strange bird, man. Like Todd McFarlane.
I've spent a lot of this week arguing this with the E, and
Mhm.
so we were talking about running numbers. Okay.
Yeah,
And so I did.
I was in the
numbers.
so you was in this real quick as you're getting into this. I'm in and out of the chat. At this point, I was sitting down and I had a few minutes and I was in the chat, but then I feel like the goalposts kept shifting. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't know what we're arguing
Well,
about anymore.
So
anyway, I'm sorry, go ahead.
hold on.
Let
So
me hear more.
like
I
was
ratio.
I was defending Todd because of the ratio of female figures.
And I think I
okay?
was too.
And what people were going off of was the Bleeding Cool article where they counted figures. Okay.
Okay.
Bleeding Cool miscounted. I found the list that they were using. Okay.
Okay.
The ratio for Todd is even worse.
Oh, really? Wow. So it's
Okay.
wow.
So Bleeding Cool must have counted some of the Build-A-Figures and vehicles because they had way more figures.
Was this Bat Cycle male or female?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Oh my God.
it was 185 total figures for
Mhm.
Todd, not
Right.
counting vehicles and Build-A-Figures. 20 of those were female.
Mhm.
Wow.
So the Bleeding Cool number is 10%. The real number is 9.25, 9 and a
That's
nice,
quarter.
Hey,
Not
Ryan, man,
e-
trying
not-
to
so-
do old Todd a favor.
Yeah. So but then they also miscalculated on the Marvel Legends figures, and it gets
Uh-oh.
worse for Todd.
Oh boy.
I went back. Oh Jesus Christ! Hold on. Can one of you two send E a link?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh geez. Okay,
Um,
E, you can jump in, but you just don't get all barbaric, motherfucker. We're talking
No.
about female figures here.
no, like
I'm kidding.
no,
I'm
he's
kidding.
he's gonna gloat because I was wrong.
Oh
So
yeah.
I went,
Well, I mean, I don't blame
I
you. Go ahead
went
and go ahead
I
and
went
read
I went back over the last 185 figures. Oh shit! I've got to move this so I can see EE. Shit. Okay. Anyways, it was 185 figures for Todd total. Okay.
That's a lot, though. In how many years?
In 2.5 years,
2.5
basically.
years. That's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
good.
a lot.
That's
That's
good.
prolific.
I
Working.
didn't think it was that much.
Yeah,
I
neither did
thought it
actually.
was much lower.
Yeah.
So he's released 20 figures that are female, and then you have the other complaint of variety that we can get to.
Yeah.
But then I ran the numbers for Marvel Legends because I figured if they miscounted fucking Todd, they're gonna miscount Marvel Legends.
Right.
So I went back through the last 185 Marvel Legends releases.
Oh my.
44 of those were female figures
So like over double the amount that Todd's done.
for a percentage of
For that.
24%, where I believe the Bleeding Cool article only credits them for 23.
Yeah, so
Damn,
they ain't
dude.
got that wrong.
Yeah. So I think
So just
yeah,
real
go
quick,
ahead.
so I could frame this a little bit.
Mhm.
So not only, excuse me, is the percentage worse for Todd, that also goes into the variety argument.
Mhm. Because how many of those have been? He's put out 2 Batgirls already. He's put out two of those are both Wonder Womans. You know what I mean? So it's like he's already doubling up on these.
It's really bad. I didn't even bother running the variety numbers because there's only 20 fucking figures.
Mhm.
And I can count on one hand the amount of
Carrie
female
Kelly's
figures.
one, like
Oh, hold on. So maybe 2 hands. So you got okay, first is Carrie Kelly. You got Batgirl.
so Barbara Gordon, if you want to.
Can I pause real quick?
Yeah.
Are you talking variants of them also, or?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think it's got to be more than. I actually think it's more than 20. I think it's more than 20. But go ahead.
Secret identities.
No, dude, I counted the amount of variants too.
Okay, go ahead. Go.
So that's the total. That's what I'm saying. It's even worse than what Bleeding Cool reported. So think about it. You got Carrie Kelly, you got Barbara Gordon, you got Harley Quinn.
You got 2 Barbara Gordons though. Remember they did her twice.
Right. That's what I'm saying. This is the variety part of the argument.
Okay.
So yeah, fucking A, man. Let me finish. Yeah. So you got fucking Carrie Kelly, you got Barbara Gordon, you got Harley Quinn, you got the female Batman.
Batman Beyond, right?
No, the female Batman from Death Metal, the Aquaman.
Okay, the Aqua chick.
Yep, you got the Aqua Girl. You got Ink as Batman Beyond, and you got the female Batman Beyond. And then who else do you have? He didn't do a rat catcher for Suicide Squad. I mean,
I don't know. Look,
Wonder Woman. You put Wonder Woman on. You said Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman was on the first 5. That I
Catwoman, movie Catwoman.
Oh yeah, and he did.
Movie Catwoman. Movie Catwoman.
So
yeah. Now, did he do 2 versions of that one?
He's done a couple versions of a lot of them.
Do you count those though? And I do want to get into that too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like I counted, and it's a lot less variance than we think.
Right.
So a lot of them are just single characters, but 9 of them have.
And I think and like we can get into that like kind of from this like again going back to his scenario that he points out and kind of the way that he has conducted his line up to 2 years ago, where it's like people don't like. He's in interviews like spoken about scale before, of like. Basically, like I don't know what he was saying, but it was like the most off the wall shit. Like if you want your figures to match in height, basically saying like a Hulk needs to be the same size as Spider-Man and this and that. Like I don't know what he was saying, but like, so it's just like this accumulation of like he is so just kind of out of touch with I think in that scenario he described, he's out of touch with reality.
Yeah.
Everything else, every other toy interview he's done, it's like, dude, look around. Go on Toy Arc just for 5 minutes. Yeah. And you can figure out how to do articulation. Right? Like you can which is obviously what they're doing now because so much of the McFarlane joint system, I got like a couple sitting in this bucket right here, are pulled from like SH Figure Art stuff, like or import stuff, like with the swivel hinge wrists and ankles and stuff. Like, so it's like there's a way to do this stuff, and I think there's a lot of what's going on in his more recent last couple of years that he's not in charge of, where there's other people in charge of it, and that's the best thing for them, right? But when and like. I guess like character selection, maybe he has still some say over, but like just a lot of silly choices. And I know we were talking about this a little bit before the show.
Yeah.
Things like these variant figures, like they'll have like a gold one, and then there would be like for like you mentioned that Catwoman having a masked and unmasked one as separate figures, and then like
why not just have the same figure?
Well, like some people like pre-ordered this Damian Wayne Robin, which is kind of a retool of an older one, and it's like the gray unpainted prototype version, which That shit doesn't work for action figures. People don't want that. People want to know what they're getting.
Well,
and then,
I think that's an Amazon fuck up though. From what I've heard people saying,
is that right?
It's because like when you're ordering it from Amazon, people think they're ordering like the colored version, whatever, and some people seem to have gotten the artist proof instead. So I think that's Amazon making the mistake.
They did that though with the Warhammer 40K stuff, which makes perfect fucking sense. Absolutely, because there is a history in that property of customization, right? So it's like, yeah, that totally makes sense to do that with that. But like if I were to get this man bat, which I pick and choose McFarlane stuff. I collect 1/12 scale stuff, and I pick and choose this Clayface and this man bat. I'm super excited for because they check 2 boxes.
Killer Croc.
I'm gonna be really fucking pissed if I get one of these and they're gold. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck am I gonna do? And it is a thing where he's taking these principles of variant covers from comic books, kind of chase rare baseball cards and shit.
Yep.
You can't apply that stuff to figures, and I think it's because of the kind of finality of I'm going to buy this figure and be done with it. You don't get that when you get a booster pack of cards, like, and also the price point, because comic books are still under $4. Booster packs of cards, whether it's Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever, baseball cards are $4 to $5. So like, once you get out of that price range, I think like it's like, do people want that? Is that a thing people are asking for?
Yeah,
I guess.
And like that's the thing, like he doesn't seem to get is what works for variant action figures is prints of figures that are the same figure with a different costume.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
a
fully painted and actualized action figure.
But then also a full figure. Like I feel if I was all in on his line, and I had to buy the Robert Pattinson Batman, and then had to buy a separate figure to get an unmasked head, that feels like I'm not getting what I should. And people that's what people I think would draw ire with, and I definitely would too. And again, I'm not in on that stuff, but like let's say Mayfex puts a Robert Pattinson Batman out, which in which case if they do, I'm gonna buy it, you know, and then I have to buy a separate release to get a necessary accessory, an unmasked head. You know, I don't know what else, but like,
but also think about the price point too.
Yeah. And here's my fuck up. Like it's like my problem is, you know, I'm so used to buying imports and shit as long as I have been. Like if I really wanted one of his things, and I was like, and I really want this unmasked head, $20 for a head sculpt is whatever. You know, that's kind of nothing. Like
so, like you kind of look at it that way, but like at the same time,
you shouldn't. But you should.
You shouldn't because of how much value you get in Marvel Legends at the same fucking price point.
Dude, that's how I'm glad
fucking multiple heads, multiple hands. You know,
and even Mattel's doing that too with their He-Man stuff. Like you're getting you don't want to feel like you're missing out on the full figure. If that makes sense. When I say full figure, I mean everything you've developed to contribute to that figure should come with that. You know, if you're going to do a variant, I don't know what you do with the Batman. You know, but
I think he's trying to artificially inflate collector rarity, and it doesn't work like that in action figures.
It doesn't. It doesn't because of when people like
the way he's doing it.
Like those gold Deathstroke and Arkham Batman, like people were paying money for those.
They still are. Those things go for over $100.
And I think that's fucking stupid. Like, what are you gonna do with those? Like, those are
the rarity. I bought the Hazmat Batman thinking, I might be able to make some money on this shit. No, that shit is still fucking retail.
It's sitting on the shelves at Target, you know. Yeah. But that is where like so it's like with him, if he had 100% full say in his lines, like we would not get what we're getting now, which I think they're one of my favorite toy companies at this point because the stuff I do pick up is usually pretty good. Their articulation schemes are good. Sometimes they kind of stray from the mean and fuck up in certain ways, but that is a portion of it where I think he still is having some say. We need to put these variants out. We need to do this, do that. It's silly. Nobody wants that. But then it's like they release this 2-pack, like the Hush Batman or Hush and a Batman, but like it's just kind of like your standard.
I would love to know what fucking Hush that's supposed to be too, and it looks like shit.
Yeah, exactly, dude. With this trench coat button up like it's a bathrobe, but like you see how this dude's elbow joint is a separate piece, right?
Yeah.
So on this Batman, and I pull a pick up, this is probably easier, but like it's like his gloves are black, but then it's black over the forearm, and then this joint is black on a Batman figure. So it's like, how does that? And what McFarlane does is they release these trading cards with all their figures, and the Batman card that comes in this 2-pack is they use the correct plastic and they painted everything correctly. So it's like, and that's just like probably a factory fuck up, which at this point they're like, what are we gonna do about it? But at this point, you should fix that shit because you do have some competition out there. Maybe not for Batman, but for superhero.
But to be go ahead, E.
Just to defend him a little bit here. Going back to the receiving the gold or the unpainted stuff, you do have it. Like, I just think that getting the wrong one is, like I said, that's something that's going on with Amazon. Like when you order from BBTS, you're not accidentally getting the wrong one. So on and so forth. You see it in the store.
Get it through GameStop too.
Yeah,
they're like people literally like, I wanted the regular one and I got this fucking gold one. I don't know how to paint. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Like,
now the thing about that joint, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Like if you look on a Marvel Legends Spider-Man, where they have the pins.
Yeah.
The pin is always a pin. Usually the pin is the same way. It's that weird. The painted color wrong because
it'll be like blue plastic with a red
because that joint piece they can't, or they're not going to two-tone paint it to do it right. So that's where that issue comes in.
But here, so my rebuttal to that, how many
change your joint
figures, how many Batman figures have they put out and got that right?
Mm-hmm.
You know
you're
what
right.
I mean?
You're right.
Like I got this fucking death metal one, which is a piece of shit, like this one right here, and like they figured it out. Like so, like on the Hush one for you guys, like this upper forearm plastic is painted black, and then like this elbow joint is all black. So like that is my big rebuttal to that. If it was their first one, I'd say, hey, they're learning a curve, but it's like, this is how many Batman figures they put out, like,
you have to adjust your scope to fix that paint to that, because that one that sleeve comes too far up, which is what's fucking up that scope.
New body that the 3 Jokers basically is the same body.
So yeah, man, I'm fucking out. After this,
really?
Why is that?
After this after this Dark Knight wave, okay. I got some things that I really like from McFarlane. Okay, the standouts like Azrael. And
he's
like
great.
That.
Great.
Okay.
Cool.
Figure of the year.
But for you put that against like the good Batmans that have come before, it is way too fucking big.
With the Azrael?
Yeah.
No, for sure. And then I just kind of suck that up, and say,
but like then I go deeper into the line and I get another cool one. I forget what it was. So I'm like, okay, cool, yeah. And I'm cherry picking the line, getting cool shit. Mm-hmm. But none of it's going to scale with anything I've collected before.
See, so like that's like my principle, I guess. If I have a guiding thing with McFarlane, is like Azrael, I can make him work. Let's say he's a big fucking buff monster, whatever, it works. He's gonna be with the rogues, and then like what else? I have Bizarro, which I had to kind of kit bash with their infected Superman. I'm in on that. I would have got the Killer Croc, but I just got that kind of custom one or whatever. Man Bat, I'm in on. Clayface, I'm in on, which is going to be hitting soon. So yeah, I kind of do like have the same issues you do, knowing that they're a 7-inch scale line, but just kind of getting what works for me and my purposes.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And then I hate the motherfucking horse.
Oh really? So I did get that. I think that Dark Knight Returns wave. It looks great. I got that Superman.
The individual figures, yeah.
Yeah, I got the Superman, and he's awesome, except for the fucking head sculpt. What were they doing? I actually have it hand ready, so I'll pull it out.
Yeah, but like, so those individual figures are going to be great because my DC stuff, when we move, is going to go in my detals. So I can set up set up single shelf, dioramas for everything. So that Batman and that Joker are going to go together in like the Tunnel of Love because the Joker head, which is a really nice fucking twist, goes like the neck is broken.
Yeah, this is that Superman head.
Yeah. That totally looks like a Japanese anime.
But
I don't know.
Can you really blame him when you look at Frank Miller's art?
I guess not.
Yeah, that's a good point. This is the one I have on the toy, and this is from like a DC Direct, and like I hype modded everything on that, so it fits with my Mayfex stuff. Because Mayfex has got a Superman coming out, which is gonna.
But the legs on my horse all fucking suck.
Really,
the tail fucking sucks.
Is it too loose, or is it just?
Yeah, when you manipulate it, it all falls apart.
Oh, so it's just
shitty. People bought the wave for that horse, man.
Yeah, I did too. I got kind of excited. Like it took me like half an hour to pose that horse to get Scare Glow on top of him.
Oh wow!
The legs just keep falling out. The fucking tail falls out.
Damn, man.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and then the mane looks like shit to me because it's the way it's segmented. I understand with the joint and having the head, go back. Excuse me, you're going to have to segment the fucking mane. Okay. But like the way that it is so jagged and like breaks sculpt so much. They're like, dude, you can fit a fucking dime through it.
That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah, that's bad.
Now, Chuck got it, and he loves his. So I don't know. Like, I must have just got like a bad fucking wave.
Yeah, maybe
every piece except for the horse body itself is fucked.
I feel like I haven't heard too much of that from McFarlane, whereas like people like the quality varies. So I think maybe it's just a thing, and maybe people are being apologetic about it, or
but like
because a lot of people get something like that.
That Bane Build-A-Figure was shit too, though.
Yeah, but dude, Nick, people made excuses for it. So like I've seen with McFarlane, the thing that I see with, and I don't even know what other toy company I really see this with.
Fast Toys.
Like, yeah, I guess so. Where people will,
probably.
They will
I have fun with Fans Toys this week.
Like they'll like defend it and make excuses for something that they know isn't good or that they know isn't done right now. And I'm not saying anything about those people, but it's like, why, why? Because like with the Bane, people will literally be like, well, how posable do you need a Bane to be? Go fuck yourself. This is what
you at least need a leg to stay on. That's the thing.
But it's like this is what this line is advertised as, and this figure needs to fit with the rest of the figures in the line. So no, don't take Bane, and you know how you get like a clip art picture and you like click the sides on a Word document and scrunch it down, which is what they did with that Bane. It's what they did with the Doomsday Batman, where they made these figures too small because they wanted them to, because
the Doomsday is too small.
Todd McFarlane doesn't give a shit about scale. He just wants all the figures to be the exact same height. And it's like,
yeah, that was something else you were saying. Like he wants the Hulk and Spider-Man to be the same height. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I this was a while ago, but it just kind of illustrated what we see in his lines, like that. Again, that Doomsday Batman, I forget what the name of it is. The Devastator. Yeah, like that should be 9 inches. Yep. It should be 9 inches, and then like especially when you have like the Flash that came out similar time with that, like kind of towered over him. Or even if they were the same height, looks taller because of the proportions. Yeah. So like that is a thing where Marvel Legends has got them beat by a mile, and always will unless they change their ways, right?
Well, I think he's starting to fix that because if you
with the mega figures,
like from what I've seen, the Clayface is actually tall, is big.
Yeah, he's huge.
The Killer Croc seems to be big. I know that I've seen reviews of that Titan Joker. He's a lot bigger too now. So maybe he's starting to realize, all right, I can't do that. You know, again, like his figures haven't been perfect. Like one of the worst figures I own in my entire collection is the one of the last Batmans he put out. Motherfucker won't stand for shit. Mm-hmm. I actually have to have him on a figure stand.
Yeah, look at this shit.
That is true. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's bad. Look how loose that is.
You definitely got a bad one there.
And okay, that one's staying on this time.
Okay.
Okay. And you see, I'm not putting pressure on this shit. But these front ones, holy fuck.
Nice and tight.
Too tight.
Yeah.
Too tight, yeah.
All right, that one's doing well this time. So these two did well this time. But the rest of it, fuck.
Yeah, that sucks, dude.
I guess I'm gonna have to take Jason up on that offer of a bottle of Kiki.
Yeah, for real, dude. But that's a criticism I guess I'll take back is about the scale, because like EE said, like they seem to be figuring that out, which is good for me.
Hopefully, because I mean, Damian is technically taller. I mean, shorter than all the others, but I still think the Damian's too tall though. He's still too tall though. He made him shorter, but not short enough.
It's like one of the gravest sins because they did what
does he come up to? He comes up to Nightwing's shoulder, it looks like.
Yeah, they took the proportions and again scaled those up. So and again, to be fair, SH Figure Arts does this with their Dragon Ball Z figures all the fucking time. Whereas they'll have a Goku and a Gohan, and the Gohan will look great. Like he'll have a big ass head like a 4-year-old kid does, right? But his head will be 20% bigger than Goku's head. Yeah. Right? But they do that because they want the proportion. They want him to look like a kid and they want Goku to look like an adult. But you have to scale them with each other. Like Sonny's head looks big because he's 7 years old. And my head looks a certain way because I'm 32. I'm a grown man. I'm not granted. I'm only 5'4". You know what I mean? But like Sonny's head isn't actually bigger than mine. If I were to have Sonny come in here and put his head next to mine, it's not bigger than mine. But that's what McFarlane does, and again, that's what SH Figure, which is a premium import brand, does. Which is like, guys, figure this shit out. Yeah. DC Icons, which is to me is one of the worst lines I've ever dealt with. Figure this out with their Damian Wayne Robin. Like he
that's
scales
Super Sons 2
perfectly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll grab it real quick because
is it possible that he's going for an older version of Damian Wayne? Maybe
I don't think so. I just think he's
so big and so fucking round,
dude. That Damian Wayne is thick.
Yeah, really. I mean, I'm just trying to throw him a lifeline to see maybe
he's going thick. No, too tall.
It's exactly. He's just too tall. It's a great figure.
No, like it's
great
like,
sculpt, just too tall.
They took them and they clicked they did the clip art Microsoft Word document and went. Whoop. He needs to fill out this packaging, whatever. No, fuck that shit.
Marvel Legends, years and years ago,
and here's that
had the same problem.
Yeah, look at that.
Like their Wolverines were always bigger than they should be.
Yeah,
it's more recently over the last 4 or 5 years that they've fixed that right. So I mean, he's got things he's got to work on.
This is the way to do
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. That's actually, Sam, that's good scale for Robin to Batman. That's really good.
It's a 10-year-old kid.
Yeah, well, that's what you gotta remember.
You know,
Again,
then it's like if you
10-year-old kid that almost killed Tim Drake. Yeah.
Here you go again. Jesus Christ. Maybe, did you ever think that maybe Tim Drake just got caught off guard because he's a fucking
I got that Tim Drake Robin on pre-order, man.
Actually, Tim Drake is. I'm not gonna defend Tim Drake. He can't fight, so whatever.
It's not that he can't fight. Just remember who trained Damian. That
Yeah. But you know what? He gonna kill Dick Grayson. So bring it on.
Yeah.
Well,
he tried this shit on Nightwing. He get his ass whipped.
Well, Nightwing's also a lot older and had been doing it a lot longer than Tim Drake also was. So
exactly. That's what I mean. He caught someone who was a little inexperienced, not prepared, and you're right, and he got over on him. This is okay.
One of my favorite things that I've read in comics lately, within like the past few years, was that Teen Titans series with Damian leading the team.
Yeah. No. Good.
The one where he first captured everybody. Yes. That's the one that started with it.
Yes.
I did not get far in that. I don't know what happened, why it fell off, but it was starting off good.
And then he started capturing villains and putting them in his own private prison.
He
killed Deathstroke.
That kid's fucking well. I mean, killing Deathstroke. Hey, all right. But
that's the other thing, man.
The last thing I read on Damian was when he freaking died, dude.
Yeah, where the heretic killed him.
Yeah, early New 52 stuff.
I kept telling everyone, he's gonna come back. Everybody comes back in a comic books.
Of course.
Dude, he came back with superpowers.
With superpowers, right? Which is imagine that mentally ill child with superpowers. Fucking frightening, you know. God.
His latest series is great too. It starts off with like a martial arts tournament of like the next generation of DC's good fighters, like Connor Hawk, Ravager. Yeah, so it was like the Lazarus tournament, and it was run by the League of Lazarus, who worshipped the Lazarus pits.
Hey Nick, that's the real LOL, man. Fuck League of Legends.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they just leave you mad and upset.
Son.
I just want to say this, Nick. About a year and a half ago, I think it was. I was having a lot of worries about McFarlane, and you told me that I should really get into this, buying some of this shit because they're much improved. Get in on it, Russ.
I would still agree with Nick in that. I think people's in their minds, it's the Spawn pre-posed on a clamshell. I think that's what people think of when they think about McFarlane, and it took a while to change that perception. Man.
Yeah, and I would say that
it is improved over his older shit, definitely.
Okay, that's true.
And if he was still in charge, it would still be that older shit. But I think he does have some people.
You could tell the shit that he's behind.
Mm-hmm.
Like that year 2 Batman, total Todd.
Yeah, total Todd. Yeah. Both capes look terrible. You know, like pre-post. Like,
I haven't bought that many of the multiverse figures. I have a few. I haven't gotten that deep into it. Maybe that's why I don't have the Venom where
I'm like Nick. I cherry pick, man.
I
cherry pick what works.
I bought a few. I mean, the Azrael is an unreal figure. I love that figure. That's so great. Good. I bought the Red Sun Superman just because I love that story, and
me too.
It's an incredible Superman story, and I got that one, and I think another figure I was thinking about getting. I was actually thinking about getting the Damian Wayne Robin, and now y'all telling me he's
good. It's a good figure, but the problem is the scale.
Yeah, I mean, if he's gonna be as tall as Superman,
I
don't know.
No, he's not as tall as Superman, but he'll definitely come up to his chin.
That Damian Wayne Robin is basically 1/6 scale.
Yeah,
like you could put it with a 1/6 scale figure, and it would work.
As usually, he would scale fine as a little kid with the tool. That's funny as shit.
Yeah, man.
But and there's a couple other. I like that what's it, that heavy metal Batman. He looks fucking cool. And there's a few.
I'm just trying to think of other stuff too. Like their regular line Superman, I thought was actually pretty damn good.
This one's good, man.
Yeah.
See, that's what I want to get. I want to get Bizarro as well. Yeah, I you know, but I guess I'm just cherry picking here and there. But
King Shazam.
Like you know, Shazam.
King Shazam figure is dope.
Is it real? I haven't seen it yet.
And it's like this one works because like I don't mind Bizarro being bigger than like the Mayfix Superman that I'll use.
Well, Bizarro, it kind of goes with his Freakazoid, you know.
Yeah. I'm like whatever. He can be bigger.
I can understand the people that are deep into that line though, that are starting to have issues with it. I get it. I can understand.
Yeah, dude. And it's like Nick brought this up too. Like the people just like making excuses for it. It's like they don't believe this shit. And it's like I don't know why. Yeah. I don't know why people do this with toys, especially. You know, I mean, like you see people do it with stuff like obviously like your big hitter items like religion and politics. They're gonna make excuses for stuff that they don't necessarily agree with because they believe in it. But it's like when you like people do it with toys too. Like
people, it's all tribalism. But like people are proud. People are proud to be stands of shit.
Yeah,
like people are proud that they're a fans toys fucking stand. Mm-hmm. People are proud that they're a McFarlane stand, you know? And it's like, why? Yeah. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you take
they're not doing much for you. Like you're giving them money, you know, like you're supporting them like financially. So like you should have the loudest voice against them to say, hey, like, I want more for what I'm paying for.
Are you just trying to justify your purchase to yourself?
That's what it is.
I think it is, yeah.
Not just to them, mainly.
Sorry, I had to step away, guys.
Mainly, they're trying to justify their what they bought for themselves, but I think also it's they want to justify it to other people, and they want to say, well,
who's justifying what?
Well, we're talking about people that we're talking about the people that
stands.
Really.
Oh well, that's everything though.
Right.
I mean,
that's what we were saying.
You know,
I mean, fact is, you guys were just doing it with the wrestling thing. You know, I get it.
True,
you're a fan of it, so you're going to defend it.
Right.
I get it.
But
you guys, you also have to be, as long as you can also be honest where the criticism needs to come from, then you're good.
Yeah.
But it's the people who
they don't accept the criticism of anything about what they're a stand of.
Yeah, like there are fans.
Whereas we were talking, and I can admit wrestling is not a sport.
Or unjustified hate in the opposite sense. Unjustified hate. You're penalizing and ripping on one company just because for some reason you don't like that company, but this other company that you do like is doing the same exact thing.
Yeah.
It works both ways.
People don't see this company's doing the same thing.
That's bullshit. It's something I hate Hasbro. It's just okay.
No, I'm actually
I'm just joking.
And the whole KO argument to me is, stay out of my fucking pockets.
Yeah.
What happened to that?
Well, it depends on who.
Why are you telling another man how to spend their money?
See, well, that's a whole nother thing. My only thing about this whole KO argument is I'm not mad at fan toys for trying to stop the KOs at all.
No, absolutely.
If those KOs come out and Russ says he bought all of them, that's Russ's business. That's your pocket, your money. You spend your money where you want. I don't care.
For the record, I'm anti-KO, just for the record.
Yeah, but I just used you as an example. Sorry,
just real quick, what is going on with the fans toys KO stuff? I'm not.
What was the first
There's a company called something, and it's funny because it's even like they're knocking off Keith's name, KFC. It's KFT Toys. It's something funny toys. Like the middle name of their thing is actually called Funny Toys. And they have started releasing pictures of upcoming figures that they're supposed to be working on, which are knockoffs of fan toys figures.
That's so funny to me.
One of them is Lupus.
Cyclonus looks like it's coming out first. They also teased the Dracula and the fans toy Jetfire, the 4 I've seen so far.
So the thing was as soon as the fucking Cyclonus KO dropped, Fans Toys went to retailers and was like, "Yo, you fucking stock this shit. You ain't getting our shit ever again."
Really?
Well, Fans Toys put out a statement saying any retailer that sells these KOs, we're not doing business with anymore.
And so I guess Primus was like, "Fuck y'all, we'll carry the KOs."
You saw Bobby's video today, though, right?
No.
All right, so I watched Bobby put a video out today about it, and it turns out that Oh My Primus and TF Direct seem to be the only two sites so far that have the KOs on. And now Oh My Primus has taken down all their Fans Toy stuff.
Oh wow!
So which kind of might lend a little credence to that supposed statement by Fans Toys that if you're a retailer and you sell these KOs, you're not gonna be able to sell our product.
Okay, but hold on. If they've already bought stock, if they've already got stock from Fans Toys, and they have it.
I don't know. I never looked. I never shop on Oh My Primus. I totally forget they exist. But it was something that Bobby said he went and checked, that he saw that after they put up those things, then they took down the Fans Toys post.
Well, I'm wondering if Oh My Primus is making a strategic move and saying, "Hey, fuck you. We're not going to sell your shit. Period. Fuck off. And they'll tell us what we can buy and sell. And maybe they get rid of Fans. They themselves are taking Fans Toys shit now. They're done with it.
Yeah, but so now
Fans Toys their shit back and give us our money back.
Okay, now here's the thing. Let's say this KO company makes one figure, right, and then disappears.
Yeah, that's the
risk. You're taking a gamble and on a business move here that might backfire. Because now, guess what? This KO company made one, and then actually got shut down somehow. They're not coming back. They're gone. It's been 3 years, 2 years, and I can't get my Fans Toys account back either.
That's gonna happen. You know that, right? You just said it. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
I mean, they've shown what, 3 or 4 figures so far.
4 figures, I believe.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
All in white prototype plastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And their KOs
so far out,
of Fans Toys figures, which are notorious. Some of them are notoriously finicky with those joints, how tight they are. So how far do you trust the KO company to go with that?
Well, I will tell you, KO companies now, they seem to improve on figures when they KO.
Some of them,
some of them do, man. That's like. So people say I'll wait for the KO, not even joking, because
that is a very prevalent.
I had the MP36 Megatron. I had the real one and the KO one. Because at one point in my life, I was buying Transformers. The KO one was better by a mile. Yeah. At least
most people agree that Infinite Transformations Megatron was better than the MP36. That's one of the few that was actually better.
Yeah,
that's not fair.
Yeah, that's definitely the exception.
But the first KO of Fans Toys, Quake Blast. I like it better than Quake Wave. The improved legs and the shoulders.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And that was a one and done.
Well, no, they did too. They did too, because I have their other product, which is again superior to the base figure. They knocked off MMC Hexatron.
Oh, but I mean, the one and done Fans Toys is what I meant. I didn't know the company made two, but that's the only Fans Toys so far that got knocked off.
Right.
Well, I mean, they probably got in, they sold what they wanted, and got the fuck out. Take their money and run.
But both of their knockoffs were better than the original, and they knocked off 2 of the biggest fucking third parties. They knocked off MMC and Fans Toys.
You don't know how funny I think it is that third party companies have been getting KO'd. I think it's funny,
and they're bitching about it. Come the fuck on!
When they're bitching about it, it's just I always had thought that I always thought mainly that KO companies would just target primarily because it's easier to get shit from factories, those big factories. I just didn't think they would fuck around with third party companies, but I guess they're fair game now too, because some of them are big enough now. I guess that they're fair game. You know,
Fucking comic companies are doing it.
Well, if you think about it, like you look at the price that Lupus is fetching right now, right? And you have the money and the means to make this figure, jump in, make a couple bucks. I can see why someone would want to do that. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, and I totally get anybody being upset that this stuff is being knocked off. Let's just, I understand they're infringing on an IP themselves, but you're still knocking off their shit. There's a little bit of a difference there.
They are,
at least these third-party companies are making their own sculpt and figures and engineering and all this stuff, right?
They would have like they didn't get the idea for Werewolf. Like
I get the irony. I definitely get the irony of all this. It's if irony is even the right word I'm using here.
But my thing is, none of these third-party companies would be around without IP theft.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Any of them
tricky, like they use
any of them
names,
that have sold original figures like Bad Cube and Fans Project.
Mm-hmm.
Those figures weren't well received.
Fans Project, I would disagree with because I feel like the Steel Core
is probably
one they did. I feel like people love that though. I feel like there's people that love that.
All right, Steel Core. So one out of how many though?
Yeah, but then I don't know how many other ones they did. Thing? Yeah. That thing was goofy, dude. That
I've heard people say
G1 looking thing.
That Fans Toys shouldn't even worry about it, that they're so big now. But I think you're underestimating the collector trying to save a buck.
Yeah.
If this first figure comes out and they knock it out the park, you're going to see a lot more people, especially with Fans Toys prices keep going up.
But then maybe for Fans Toys, this will teach them like, hey, you see this figure going for this much money on the aftermarket, say that you're going to do another run.
Yep.
Because I'm sure a lot of people would rather say, okay, I'll pre-order it even though it won't come out for 18 months over buying the KO. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but not if that KO is let's say that KO is a knockout, right? Let's just say, right?
It's good.
Fans Toys' new re-release is going to be, when it first came out 5, 6, 7 years ago, it was 120. Now it's 250. This KO company is going to come out at 120,
dude. Right, and that's not even, and that's that's just inflation. Because it's like what did Lupus originally retail for?
I have no idea. I wasn't collecting back then, but I'm pretty sure it was under $200.
Probably 150.
Probably.
I don't know.
And it's like, can you imagine that? Going for that much now? I'm gonna look that up, dude.
Yeah.
I
fuck around enough.
Toys, though. I do.
If you fuck around enough and let this company hang around,
okay. So
Lupus decides to finish your combiner for you.
Hey, Lupus on Big Bad Toy Store retail for $144. Could you fucking imagine that going for that much nowadays, dude? No way, man.
Not at all.
It's a $500-$600 figure now.
Yeah,
people are trying to get it.
Well, so and I'm not even talking aftermarket. I'm saying if Fans Toys would have
re-release it
today
because they've gone off.
No, not even re-release. Just today said, hey, we have a Fans Toys Werewolf and it's coming out now. 210, 215, 220.
Yeah,
easy.
But like they have also raised prices on re-releases.
Yeah, which I think is shitty.
That's true.
Hey.
Yeah.
I think
in my opinion, Fans Toys has kind of allowed this to come in, and they are smart to try to stamp it out as soon as fucking possible.
Yeah,
true. But here's my. You're right, but my worry is that Fans Toys has to be careful because remember this: all the e-tailers and retailers, everyone, they're the ones that are selling your product. By threatening them like that. It's dangerous, man. Because what if they all?
It is, but you know what's
we're going to carry that.
They're going to look at their ledger, man. They're going to say who made us more money, Fans Toys or this KO company that we've never heard of.
Well, that's
2 days ago.
They would.
And then Fans Toys, but then Fans Toys could just make a website and sell themselves if they wanted.
Yeah, but if they were,
it's not like they can't get this shit out the park. It's not like they would never be able to get this shit out to market.
But they would have already done that. They would have already done that.
Well, they don't need to. Right? They don't need to. They don't need to.
They don't need to.
That's an expense.
Like
it is. But is it going to be an expense that's worth saving your company if all these retailers start doing it? And if your Fans Toys, if your idea to combat this is, well, you know what, I'm going to put a re-release of Lupus now, jump it on the pipeline. That's now taking a spot of a new figure and mold that people are waiting for.
Could be,
if they have to waste their time now putting out all these re-releases just to combat all the KOs that are coming out.
I'm not saying they're wrong to try to combat it. I just think they need to be careful about how they go about it. That's all.
Well, I think everybody needs to be careful, even the retailers. Yeah. Like, my Primus, that's a bold move on their part.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, the only way that Fans Toys loses with this strategy is if that figure is fucking figure of the year. You know what I'm saying? It has to be a damn good figure.
But I mean, realistically, I feel like you have a lot of people though, Nick, that are principally opposed to buying KOs, man.
That's me.
So in me, it was Oh My Primus and who else?
TF Direct.
Yeah.
So like,
and they have a big KO business.
Those two, and like, because you know why? Those are both Far East retailers.
Yeah. But you know what?
They're either China or Hong Kong based. Like,
but you know what? Show Z, Robo Toy Base, they all sell the KOs also. They all have the fourth party category in there.
That's what I mean. This KO
Black Mamba shit.
Exactly. They sell KOs also.
Right.
So,
but like,
it's gonna be sold.
The thing is if like. If Oh My Primus and TF Direct can be like, hey, look, here's what we did with this fucking KO as opposed to what we did here with Fans Toys, and they made more money off that KO, and then other retailers follow suit. That's the only thing Fans Toys has to worry about. Otherwise,
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, if this thing fucking fails, Oh My Primus and fucking TF Direct aren't selling Fans Toys anymore. They're not getting that revenue.
But true, but there's a lot of other companies still there they're selling. So
if Fans Toys, I feel like them putting out this ultimatum: you do this, or you do business with this, or you do business with us. That I feel like is maybe them losing more money than if otherwise they were just like sell these fucking KOs. Because if Fans Toys never had any plans on re-releasing Lupus, are they losing money?
See,
from this KO being released?
I actually thought Lupus was announced as a re-release last year. I could be wrong. I wasn't too sure.
So that's what I'm not sure about.
I'm not sure either.
If Fans Toys never said we're going to re-release Lupus, because this is the thing, Nick, and I've talked to you about this, about those NECA cartoon turtles, where it's like I own all the KO sets because NECA won't re-release them for whatever reason. Maybe it's licensing, maybe it's whatever. But like NECA's not losing money from that because they already sold all their product to those,
and they're not planning on making it anymore.
So like it's like me going from an eBay NECA legitimate sale of these turtles for $210, or buying the KOs that are really good for $29.99. NECA's not losing any money there. They already sold their product. So I feel
I think the difference is the way the third party or fourth party KOs work is once these companies get started, they continue to knock off your shit.
Yeah, and eventually they will.
Tony has been doing it. Yes. Every single masterpiece official gets KO'd. Yeah.
Eventually they will end up knocking off something that Fans Toys has just done, it's in the process.
And that's the thing, because that's whenever you get like I said with those MP Megatron things, where it's like people are choosing one over the other.
Yep,
that's when you actually are losing money because. But when you have a limited release like Fans Toys does, they all sell out so quick, like they're like that, and they're done, and then you sold all your product.
Dude, you cracked me up when you said, "What if this
made your money?
What if this company decides to finish their combiners?"
But you know what? It's funny to think about. But let's say this first KO comes out and it's really good. You put out your second one pretty quickly. You're making the money. Next thing you know, here's that Force Stunticon we're doing. This is not a KO either, but it's compatible with the Fans Toys one. Yeah. You just finished their fucking combiner for them.
I think it's hilarious because it would say to me, Fans Toys needs to speed the fuck up. That's what it would say.
And that would really hurt Fans Toys a lot there at that point.
You better beat somebody to market.
Like you need to be careful. So yeah, I get Fans Toys trying to be as protective as possible. And
I do too.
We need to stop this shit. And any of these companies, these retailers that decide to go with the KO and take risking losing their Fans Toys business, I don't know what their percentage is, but if this company comes out and makes only 2 figures and disappears, you hurt yourself in the long run.
That's it. Yeah, that's a chance if they take it. But see, there's a lot of small e-tailers that I think are really smaller ones that are probably going to take the chance. They'll take the chance because
you're going to see it. You're going to see people sell.
Especially those ones that already sell a bunch of KO stuff anyway. They'll still like, and like, and you got companies like TF Direct who they just don't give a fuck. They're not going to let Fans Toys scare them. They make more money off selling KOs probably at TF Direct.
Absolutely,
than anything else anyway.
Like the KO market overseas is completely different than it is over here.
Absolutely,
yeah, you can get that shit at like a Dollar General.
I own one
Hong
KO,
Kong.
And it's that gold Lamborghini, that gold version of the Masterpiece Sideswipe. I bought it because it was a gold Lamborghini, right? Okay, it's the only KO I've ever bought in my life, and some people I heard people would tell me technically it's not a KO because they didn't do a gold Lamborghini, and I'm like, yeah, but it's the same, whatever. But when I was looking at TF, I got it from TF Direct, and when I went on that site, I was blown away by how much KO stuff was on there. I was like, "Oh my god, this is like KO paradise! If you want to go get KOs, come here."
And
it's insane.
What you guys said earlier about the small market of KOs, if you go on like the TFW forum, Chuck pointed this out to us this week. That thread is huge.
Well, there are
tons. Exactly. There are tons of people that are searching for KOs because it's cheaper and it's good enough for them.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Well, and I'm not saying it's a constant, but in some times
here and there they improve on it.
KO seems to be better than the original.
Those are the ones I buy.
And that's I get it. I mean, if it's an improvement on what they're KO, I mean, technically you might say, well, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's crap. You always think of KO as being substandard, right? It's crazy when they make the product better than what they're knocking off. It's amazing. It's weird. It really is. It blows my mind. Like those Seekers that were
BB7. I bought those.
BB7. That's what I was thinking. BB7.
I know people who bought the KO Ultra Magnets because you had the Masterpiece Ultra Magnets, and then what was X2 Toys made the shoulder upgrade. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then the KO came out with the built-in shoulder upgrade, so they knocked off 2 companies at once.
They sure did.
Knocked off 2 companies at once and gave it to you at half the price.
I remember that. I remember when that came out. I was like, "What?" I couldn't believe it because I was like, "What the fuck, man?" And I watched somebody review it,
and it was cheaper.
Cheaper, yeah.
It was cheaper than just buying magnets.
Mm-hmm. Somebody reviewed. I watched a review of it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" The guy said it was. He felt like the quality was nice. He's just talking his thing up, and I'm like, "Oh, what
you miss out on those Takasa Tony KOs is you get a lot of loose joints, and a lot of them, and there's no paint. They're not. It's not red paint. It's red plastic. It's green plastic.
Yeah.
So
no doubt.
For some people, that's good enough.
Yeah.
Man,
for some people, it's good enough. I did not buy KOs except for that Megatron. Like Sam
that's
said.
A lot of people. Like it's like they're gonna put this shit maybe on a shelf, and they missed one. They missed one somehow. Like in all the mix. And it's like I don't give a fuck. This go in the spot, fill this slot. Who cares? Like,
I just.
I don't want. Who wants to pay $500 for fucking Lupus right now?
Mm-hmm. And I totally get that.
I don't think it's a mainstream character for one, and two, I never had it because it was too expensive. When I started collecting Masterpiece, he was already expensive, and he was going for $300 when I started. Now he's up to $500, and from everything I've heard, that's one of their worst figures.
Yeah.
My mentality is I never put down anybody for buying a KO. I just
I don't either. It's your business. It's your business. It's your money.
Right,
it's
exactly.
your pocket.
It is.
It's your paycheck. You work for it. How you want to spend your money is your business.
Exactly. I feel the same way, and I'll never make fun of you for buying. I'll never do anything. If you like it better, that's great. And in some cases, I'm sure it's better. My personal decision is I don't buy KOs. That's just my personal thing. And I don't ever, and most people don't judge me on it for not buying them. So why should I judge somebody for buying them? It's all about. What did you say?
I called you a Takara purist.
I'm not a Takara purist. Hell, if there was something I would buy, if there was something I would buy a KO for, it probably would be a Takara product. Better than Takara.
And just on that note,
real quick, the reason why I don't think Takara bothers with the third-party companies is I think the third-party companies help Takara.
No, yeah, 100%.
Not the KOs, because I know they like to go after the KOs especially when they're knocking off the movie stuff over the last 2 years or so. It seems like Takara goes after them hard. Yeah. But
the only third party they went after was fucking Zeta for putting that Unicron out at the same time.
They've gone after I think Black Mamba before for the movie stuff.
It's some movie stuff.
They just especially with the Bayverse movies, it seems they really
that's true.
Knows a bit because that's their moneymaker right now because that's what's in them theaters. But if you were, let's say, just a straight Takara hashtag collector, right? You have one Dinobot. Yeah. You have one Dinobot.
Yeah, right.
You're missing so many characters to that cast. And most people
you have two legit companies that have done all five.
Most people I know, for the most part, have a mix and match of the Takara stuff, and they use the third party to fill in the holes that they don't have. And when Takara does come out with one of those figures, they usually buy it, and then they'll see what they keep and what they don't. Like if there was no third party, I would never have gotten into Masterpiece when I did in the first place. Because I don't want a Grimlock and I don't want 5 Dinobots, but I want an Optimus Prime. So I have my Takara I have Optimus Prime, but I have to go with Fansoids because you gave me all 5 Dinobots. If Takara would have made all 5 Dinobots, these companies like Fansoids aren't making those figures. If you've noticed, they don't overlap a lot. There's not many overlaps between Fansoids and the Takara version. Willis, Grimlock, what else have
Hot Rod?
They
just announced a Magnus, right?
They just announced a Magnus. So out of all these figures that they've done, and Soundwave now, they don't overlap too often with.
So was that Fans Toys that announced the Magnus, or was that X-Trans?
They gave you the silhouette. They gave the silhouette of the Magnus. Yeah. So they're letting you know Magnus is somewhere down the road over next year, 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And they wait until after KFC or X-Transbot show their Magnus. The typical Fansoids. Oh, you released this. Guess what? Here's a silhouette of this. We got you covered too. They're very petty like that. Fansoids sometimes
they are. But I feel like
it's a business model, because there are people who prefer one company over the other and don't like to do the whole I'm gonna buy this now. And when Fansoids makes one, damn, I gotta switch out. That's a lot of work. Some people don't want to do it. But if Fansoids is doing it, I'm just gonna wait for the Fansoids. I'm one of those who would have, when I was doing Masterpiece, if I knew Fansoids had already announced to show the silhouette or whatever it's eventually supposed to be coming, I'm not going to get the X-Transbots one or the KFC or anything else. I'm going to wait for Fansoids.
Dude, I feel like they got to a point where that almost didn't mean anything. Like, especially with these combiners, like, is there any indication they're going to finish that?
They just showed 2 aerial bots at TFCon this year earlier, finally.
But that's what I mean.
There's still no word on the last Untitled, and I think the problem is this is a problem with Fansoids. They're heavy figures. They're very heavy.
Like die casting them, don't they? Like on a combiner.
So to do a combiner, I think they realized they fucked up, and a lot of their re-releases over the last 2 years or so have been to fund the remold, the remodel, whatever you want to call it, to get the combiners to work right.
the Zeta Superion, I think they did it the best with like how light the limb bots were. Basically,
it works. It works. The parts forming works. You know.
Yeah.
I also feel like, by the way, too, if you think about it, I mean, Takara. I mean, I've heard rumor they're gonna possibly be doing a Constructicon team for Masterpiece. I don't know if it's
they got those train bots coming out there. The combined thing is going to be like 10 inches tall or something.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
But I mean, like without third party, we're not going to have a Masterpiece scale or style, whatever you call it, whatever you want to call it, consider Masterpiece. We wouldn't have combiners without third party.
You wouldn't even have. You don't even have a full season. You can't finish season 1 with just Takara. You can't even finish just your arc bots with Takara.
That's true. And so I think third party fills they have a place.
It keeps the interest in Masterpiece collection. If it wasn't, you'd have a lot less people, I think, collecting it, because there are those people who want at least a full season 1, season 2. I want seasons 1, 2, and 3. Or even go as far as season 4, or I just want a movie show for
It shocks me. I'm shocked that Takara. There's certain characters that, by the way, I've been blown away that Takara hasn't done yet. Like, I can't believe we haven't gotten a Masterpiece Cyclonus from Takara, or
you haven't got a Galvatron either.
Or Masterpiece Galvatron.
Yeah,
David shouldn't even try with Galvatron though, because they'll never make it. They'll never make a Galvatron.
I mean, come on, you gave one Dinobot. Like, where's the other
good point?
Who wants just one
good
Dinobot?
Point. How have you not done that? There's so many characters that you're like,
I understand.
Haven't you done that yet?
Takara has to deal with licenses when it comes to a lot of these car figures.
Yeah,
true.
Which makes it a little harder. But these other ones that, like you said, that don't need license, like
bots, man.
The movie bots, the season 3 ones, the Galvatrons, the Cyclonuses, the Scourge, Dinobots. Who you fucking what?
Any of your headmasters?
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Headmasters, good point. I mean,
it's like Headmasters wouldn't have a huge fucking audience, dude. Yeah. Like it's even stateside. People like that shit, but especially in Japan, man.
There's a market for it. There is a market.
There's a market for all stuff. Look at how good Vance Hobby's doing, which is like good on them for like sticking in their lane and kind of.
That's what I said. I'm just blown away. So that's why I think third party is what's keeping it real with that. Keeping up with everything. So they have a reason.
It's a business model that sometimes that I think these companies don't get. That I can only sell the top 6, 7 figures in the main characters and keep repeating them, and I don't think that's the case. They're on their third Seeker mold already.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, third Seeker mold, and they haven't done like one Cyclonus. They haven't done one.
I don't think I don't. It's not fully understanding. I think the collector out there who wants more than just that. Who is tired of constantly replacing. I feel so bad for people who've been in on these Seekers since day one. You got the 3 versions of Takara, and then you had Make Toys come make theirs out, so people went and switched there, and then they didn't finish that. Now you got Deformations, and now you got Takara's 3rd one. It's just like, how many times when you're trying to fill this collection, do you guys keep having to switch out the Seekers? It's
how many Star Screams you gonna get?
Yeah.
No, it's same thing to go back to McFarlane. Thinking that you can't, or some of these female figures won't sell, which is why you're not making them. You're making a mistake that's going to hurt you in the long run. Because it's going to get to a point. How many fucking Batmans are you going to give me already?
Yeah.
And I still don't have a fucking Catwoman yet.
I feel like he's so fucking devoted to Batman. I don't get. I'm like, how many fucking can you do another fucking character more than? It's constantly Batman. It's insane.
What you think, Nick? You want to go?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Go on broadcasting. Go join the boys.
Yeah, man, that's what I was thinking. I thought E went ahead and circled things back really nice there with the Todd fans.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on, dude.
I only did it because I thought Nick was about to start talking shit about me for our argument this week.
Oh, no.
Myself real quick.
I never do that.
Nick did the only right thing to do. To send you a link.
I would have. I would talk shit about you on the show and not let you out either.
We
to
know
defend
you
yourself.
he actually he squirmed because he was like,
don't
he squirmed a little bit. He was like, I gotta admit that EE was a little bit fucking right. Oh, I was wrong. Oh, no one likes to admit that. Fuck.
Yeah, I hate admitting I'm wrong, but I will fucking do it when I am.
Yeah, I just hate admitting EE is right.
Same. I'm wrong a lot. So
every a broken clock is twice right. Or twice is right twice a day.
Yeah, just like he said, a broken clock is twice right a day, man. You know.
Yeah, man. Fuck it.
Man.
It's the worst to live.
We all have our little moments.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. We're gonna go ahead and sign off as we do every week. Peace, love, and hair grease. We're out. You guys have a wonderful week.
Good night, guys.
Thanks for watching.
That's too funny. He's everywhere. He's